From down on the field at Pechanga Arena, San Diego, we welcome you into Major Arena Soccer League action. Closing out Week 6, it's Star Wars night as the Sockers battle Soles de Sonora. Alongside Nate Alberea, Craig Elston here on hand. It's the final fixture of 2019 for the MASL and for the San Diego Sockers. And with San Diego sitting at 5-1, Nate, Monterey out at 6-0. We're back in that familiar chase situation. Every game, every result matters. 24 games trying to chase down that top mark.
Well, a lot of people watching the college football over the last few days, and there's a great college football comparison that we've made to this part of the schedule where early season losses can come back and bite a team late on, where every single game for those elite teams here in the MASL, they matter like college football games would. It's every game really counts, and Monterey really setting the pace and forcing the Sockers to keep up with what they got to do every night, night in, night out.
And the Sockers want to be led by their veterans. Brian Farber doing a great job of that. He's got a goal in each of his 5 games this year.
Farber is playing like the Farber of old. It's like we're watching a young man out there, and he's still young and still able, and he'll be the first person to get on me for alluding to anything otherwise. But, man, we're seeing prime Farbese out there. He's hopping on waves and surfing through the field and doing his thing, and we're seeing a lot of Farber celebrations, and I'm hoping to see a few more tonight.
Meanwhile, Soles de Sonora coming off of a big 8-7 win in Ontario, taking down the Fury last night at Toyota Arena. This is a team that has been restocked by some players whose Piece 1 visas with other teams failed. Efrain Huilo Martinez was supposed to be a Florida Tropic. Now he's a Sun. That's big.
Huilo is one of those characters. Every week, it seems like every broadcast, we talk about a couple of players that just have that comic book character quality, and Huilo's one of those guys. He's recognizable out there on the pitch, and he's someone who's given great service to this league, and I'm excited to see what he brings to the fold tonight as well.
Cañez or Aragon, they've got a good team. We'll bring them all to you, and the opening kickoff next on MASL TV.
Treat yourself to the finer things in life.
With you live from Pechanga Arena, San Diego, the San Diego Sockers and Soles de Sonora getting ready to go on Star Wars night, as we do prior to every home match throughout the 2019-2020 season. We begin by honoring a hometown hero, a member of our local armed forces, being honored for his service to the country. Now we will present for you the national anthems of Mexico and the United States. Sockers and Soles de Sonora coming up on MASL TV.
Now as we honor 2 great nations and armed forces serving the conflict around the world, please welcome to midfield this evening, David Maldonado, as he first performs the national anthem of Mexico.
Ooh.
is the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night, what so proud we was, were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, almost bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Once again, fans, now from Maldonado, the national anthems of Mexico.
National anthems complete from Pechanga Arena, San Diego. We are just about ready for action between the San Diego Sockers and Soles de Sonora. Greg Elston, Nate Abarea with you from the top row of the north end of the upper deck here at Pechanga Arena, San Diego. We've got a nice crowd gathering, and a number of them down on the field, and a number of Star Wars characters down on the field as well to welcome in both teams. Now we'd like to welcome in the final member of our broadcast team down on the field. Here's Melissa May.
For the last game of 2019, the Sockers will be without Iram Pollo Ruiz. He has a groin injury that he re-injured at last Sunday's pregame matchup. But the most seasoned Sockers player, Zé Roberto, does get the start tonight. And Eric Tovar makes it back into the lineup tonight after nursing a groin injury and had not seen any play time since the season opener. And to all the MASL fans watching today, happy early 2020. And Nate and Craig, same to you.
Thank you so much, Melissa. We appreciate it. Melissa May downstairs giving you a couple of injury updates there. And Iram Pollo Ruiz, who came up lame in warm-ups a week ago today, spoke to him down on the floor. Nate asked him, I said, mejor, peor, mismo? He said, mucho mejor, much better. Thinks if it's not next week, it'll be January 19th to be back in the lineup as the Sockers go through this 4-match homestand. We see them warming up. Your first thought on the Darth Vader kits?
The Darth Vader kits look magnificent. Another thought was seeing Zé Roberto down there. I saw Darth Vader's face, and then I saw Zay's face. Those were the two that jumped out, because those are two that, to be quite blunt, I haven't seen either of this year. I have not seen Darth Vader on the pitch for the Sockers, and I have not seen the elder statesman on this team, Zé Roberto. So I love seeing Vader, and I think edging out Vader ever so slightly, my happiness to see one of the most beloved Sockers characters, one of the great players in the lineage of this club, Zé Roberto, back out there, starting and wearing the captain's armband as well. You gotta love it. Assistant coach. Can we just call him player coach now?
He is player coach now, and this is the 301st professional game indoors for Zé Roberto, starting with the Harrisburg Heat in 2000-2001. So when Zay suits up for this club after the new year for any match, he will become a 3-decade player in the sport of arena soccer. And we say saludos to Zé Roberto. The Sockers are in their Star Wars themed black and silver jerseys, black shorts, yellow socks. Soles de Sonora coming off an 8-7 victory in Ontario just last night at Toyota Arena. That puts Soles at 2-4, 1-3 away from Hermosillo. They will run in their white jerseys, white socks with red numbers, and will go left to right. Our referees tonight is assigned by the Major Arena Soccer League, Manuel Ortiz and Ramiro Cruz. Ramiro Delgado is the assistant referee. Our fourth official in the box is Dennis Vargas. Sockers 5-1, winners of 5 in a row, trying to win to keep pace with 6-0 Monterrey. The Flash winning in overtime against the Dallas Sidekicks yesterday at Allen Event Center. Great one-goal match between Ontario and Sonora last night. Great match between Milwaukee and Florida in a battle of East Coast powerhouses. And today a tremendous match between Utica City FC and Baltimore, won by the Blast in overtime. What do we have in store for you for the final one of 2019 in the MASL? 15 minutes on the clock, the whistle sounds, and we are underway on Star Wars Night. The Sockers and Soles de Sonora. It's Angel Rubalcava starting both games in net for Soles in this weekend trip through Southern California. Ball forward to Javier Durame. Whistles through the penalty area, bounced back out. Sonora with early possession. Adrian Miller has been wearing the captain's armband for Soles. This one sent out for a long shot that was deflected away by Cesar Serra. Could be counted as Cesar's first blocked shot of the season. Slaviša Ubaparapovic, Leonardo de Oliveira, they have been a potent combination on the field and working in tandem, a forward and a midfielder. Slav's off for his first shift complete tonight, and Christian Gutierrez, coming off a goal and assist performance, is out there for him. First minute of action, first quarter. Sockers and Soles getting settled in. Sockers showing pressure, and Pino battling 1v1. This came down for a shot by Cañez, but that shot was blocked away. Serra under pressure. Cañez watching in the middle. Leo watched it go by, and yeah, he had the hand out, and a handball called on De Oliveira.
Caught with the hand in the cookie jar there. The extension of the left arm causing that call.
Soles with a restart from offensive midfield and played back. It's Boris Pardo in net, of course, for San Diego. His 6th start of the year, 4-1 with 34 saves, a 4.64 goals against, a 607 save percentage, and 1 assist on the year. Rubalcava coming in 7.81 goals against, but a 526 save percentage. So as we talk early in the broadcast, Nate, about keys to victory tonight, getting that shot count up, I think, is an important key for San Diego. They had 43 shots against Tacoma last week. We know a number of those were blocked, especially in the first half, but I think continue to take your cracks. Rubalcava showed some cracks even last night in the win in Ontario.
Pepper them as much as you can. Pepper the shots in, and
Giles looking to feed Slav across the crease.
be looking for those second chances. I think that's kind of a add-on key for me tonight. As the Sockers are really tenacious when it comes to rebounds.
That pass by Aguirre intended for Giles. It was a step in front of him and an easy catch by Rubalcava.
Look, we want aesthetically pleasing goals, and this team is capable as any team in the league of scoring beautiful goals and highlight reel material. This is the kind of night where I want to see the Sockers score some ugly ones.
Here's a long ball forward, and Pardo had to wait. Off the wall, rebound, just wide, missed chance for Avendano. Should have put that home to make it 1-zip Soles. Brandon Escoto counters to midfield and sends it back to Emmanuel Aguirre. Here's Giles in the corner. Giles off the wall, off Rubalcava, and banged around in the corner. Slav gets it back, finds Bond, back to Slav, lifts it across. It's Pee-wee Ortega. Pee-wee looking for the head of Giles. That one just behind the Sockers captain. Out of bounds, defensive clearance is called against Soles. Here comes the set piece for San Diego, top of the arc.
I think Giles is actually about to head back to the bench, and a quick change of the mind from Captain Craig now that the set piece is on and ready.
Ontario went 2 for 2 in these last night against Soles. They really struggled to defend the set piece. The Sockers have struggled to score on set pieces this year. It's Slav tipping. It's Giles shooting. Rubalcava in position to make that save with his knees on the ground. Pee-wee was able to come away with the ball, and San Diego maintains possession with the 3rd minute off the clock. 11:49 clock running. Escoto jumping over, and Christian Gutierrez replacing. Guerrero Pino off the bench as well. No score yet. Sockers and Soles. The Sonora Suns in town, and the familiar ponytail, not wearing the 10 we've seen throughout his career, number 11, Efrain Huilo Martinez out on the floor. There's Farber on the run as he goes surfing. Gutierrez, nice nifty pullback of the ball. Here's the shot, Leo. Farber looking for the loose change. Ball bounded away from him. Huilo on the wall, challenge, lost it to Pino. Pino coming in with a step. Pino shooting, blocked away. Here's Leo. Leo spinning in the corner, had to work his way around the official Ramiro Cruz as well as the defender. Right wing at Cerda. Cerda off a 2-goal night last game. That ball got a step in front of him. Counterattack opportunity. Jumping off the bench to stymie the counter, however, Eric Tovar. Man down and a foul called against San Diego.
Interesting last couple of minutes here. Solis really doing a good job kind of weathering the storm. A couple of big saves from Rubalcaba. Nothing too spectacular, just getting his body behind the ball, but Solis doing a good job keeping this thing scoreless.
Just saw getting a handshake there, number 6, Gustavo Rosales. Hat trick with an assist last night in that win over Ontario. Keep an eye on him. Leyva also scored for Solis, number 13. He's in the battle with Pino along the far corner. No score, and Solis pretty happy with the opening 5 minutes of this match. It's Miller.
Big win that was last night against Ontario for Solis.
Big loss for the Fury, too. On the run, Torame dispossessed by Farber. Gutierrez is in trouble, and the whistle bails him out. Double teamed on the wall, but he took a bang.
You know, you could make the claim that it was a bigger loss for Ontario last night than it was a win for Sonora, but I look at just the surprise factor of it. I look at how much, I'd say almost anybody in the league, nobody expected for Solis to come out on top in that game, and it really put an interesting kind of shift of light onto this game tonight when you were texting me and talking about the performance from Solis, going, okay, maybe this shouldn't be taken lightly coming in to the Sunday night.
Here's a chance, some space, but a bad ball for Escoto. Had to chase a bouncer. Contreras was in the middle, but because the ball was hopping on the Sockers, didn't really get to make as much of that opportunity as they could.
Is this going to be the night that he comes alive? You know who I'm speaking about. He was on the ball right there. Will Brandon Escoto have that coming out party tonight?
Slav drew a double team, dished it off. Eric Tovar. First appearance since November 24th, as Melissa May mentioned. Took a leg injury in training the following week, and it's been a slow go back. But Tovar waiting for that first point of the year. And as that ball was on the wrong shoulder for Leo, Rubalcaba has it. And the Sockers look to show a high press. They're man marking. That ball over the head of Cerda. Wheelo brings it down. He's got Cañas in the middle. Efrain Wheelo Martinez. His shot blocked by Cerda. Cerda steps in and gets the pinball. Back to De Oliveira. That ball a little bit behind Slav.
Lovely.
Sockers able to get out of it. And
really
now
good.
The run for Leo. Leo picks up the ball along the northern wall, keeps going into the corner. He's got Murillo on him, sends it back out. And Pee Wee just a step behind that pass. Now Contreras will take a rip, just wide. Lifted back by Cañas, but not out. Bond is able to run it back and take it back.
It was a really good shift from Contreras. I just wanted to give Ray a little credit there.
Leo, the target. De Oliveira. Working it back. He's got Pino high middle. Pino will rise and shoot off the Sockers logo. Shouldered down. Then he bangs shoulders with Miller. Gets banged into the wall. And the whistle sounds.
You can hear Pino all the way from up here screaming for that ball from Leo. And creating that sound mics down on the field too. That was definitely Guerrero's voice calling for that.
And as Pino went off the wall, they showed R2 flying off the wall as well. Nicely done here on Star Wars Night. Slavica, Uba Parapovic, ready to line up a set piece here, just inside the red line on right wing. See if we can put a curve in this with the left foot. Instead, he's going to roll it to the corner. Gutierrez tried to go it across the frame for Bond. Bangs it off the wall. Well read and taken out by Miller. He'll send it down the floor for Pardo to retrieve in the corner. Line change for the Sockers with the 7th minute creeping off the clock and heading into hyperspace. Tovar. The spinning ball recovered by the second man in, but a loose one. Now Pee Wee had a hopping ball up on his shins. Couldn't get that first touch to come in and attack. Pee Wee's got Bond on the wall. Tovar down low. Gutierrez running high middle. And Pino getting pressured at midfield. Back to Pardo. Game 2 of a 4-match homestand for the Sockers. Next Sunday, we're back with you. Ontario in town. Retro night. Sockers wearing their white 1989-1990 as Bond heads toward Rubalcaba. Their score retro jerseys. Can't wait for next week. But we've got a good match for you here tonight first. This one headed by Pee Wee. It's going to one hop over the short wall, out of play, and lead us to our first officials timeout of the night. Sockers and Solis, scoreless so far. And how about a little more on Retro Night, Nate?
Well, you can join us for Retro Night. You may have heard of it from my partner, Craig Elston, over here. It's on January 5th. The four-match homestand concludes with a 5:05 p.m. kickoff against the Ontario Fury. Retro Night, turning back the clock 30 years ago, 1990, and those 89-90 San Diego Sockers championship unis. The boys will be wearing the retro white kits, and we'll have the music. It's not just going to be the kits. We got the music, we got the sights and sounds of 1990 on display throughout the night. Plus, fans go home with a new Sockers team poster with post-match autographs. As always, get your tickets for Retro Night now. Call 866-799-GOAL or go to Sockers.com. 1990, a great year in Sockers history. 1990, a fantastic year in my life.
Yeah.
It was when it began. It was also the last time that my favorite soccer team won the English top flight, as they're battling to maybe do it again here this year. I speak of Liverpool Football Club. So
Probably
I'm a big fan.
again.
I'm a big fan of 1990. And I'm excited for next Sunday night because it's going to be all about not just the 90s, no, 1990. We tie it all together.
That was my senior year in high school, 1990. Graduated June of 1990, Long Beach Poly High School.
Tying it all together, baby.
So I'm
we were
older
both,
than you.
We were both accomplishing important things in 1990.
Yes, indeed.
You were finding your way to the diploma. I was finding my way to surface.
Maybe we can come up, maybe if you and I agree, we can each come up with a 1990 picture of ourselves.
Oh, yes.
To put on the broadcast
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because
mine might be very Baby Yoda-esque.
right, you will love mine. I will just say that.
I can't wait.
You will love mine.
Suspense.
I'm not sure I want to show it. Here's suspense as a loose ball comes to Miller. Left-footed crack was about a yard wide.
You've already committed. There's no backing out now.
No, I know. I said it on the air, so I'm screwed. Now, pressure. Lost ball. Wide shot again. Solis has had the more dangerous chances so far. Luba Peripovic working his way up the field. And bending one for a Skoto. It's Slav Skoto working now. With the connection.
It's catching on.
Disrupted. Slav back to it. Slav, lovely touch. Sending a Skoto to the wall. Brandon didn't have much to do with that ball. He's drawn the double team and sent it out. It's Leo. Leo working down low. Leo turning to the right foot and scoring. Leonardo de Oliveira. And it's a Skoto perfectly working out of a double teammate to set up the Sockers primero. 1-0 San Diego.
Just as we've talked about over and over and over again, these double teams come to Escoto. How's he going to handle it? What's the maturation process? You just see the great bit of finishing there from Leo, all about the deception, taking that touch inside. A couple of soul rolls, but once he gets Rubalcaba moving laterally, Leo's stuck in that near post every time, and he does so there. A thing of beauty, but as Craig highlighted, rightfully so, big tip of the cap to Brandon Escoto, and you see the maturity with every passing game as teams want to target this guy, and that little magician that was last season, he hasn't had as much time and space to maneuver his magic here in the 2019-2020 campaign, but that was a nice little glimpse of Escoto doing what he needs to do there and turning distributor.
Rubalcaba looking for Wheelo. Wheelo will send it back. Good job by the crowd. Good crowd tonight. I think it'll be the season high so far, just eyeballing it and using my decades of experience of evaluating arena crowds in San Diego.
Well done, well done.
9:03 the time of that goal, and Brandon Escoto with that helper ties Cesar Cerda for the team lead in assists with 5.
Been evaluating some of the fans walking the concourse over the last few minutes. I'm catching Star Wars characters that I forgot about.
Turning shot! Just wide! Woo. Farber lost Avendano for a second, and Avendano's had 2 delicious chances that turned out to be overcooked in the oven.
We really got the whole band back together for this Star Wars night. This is multi-generational Star Wars theme.
This has been a Star Wars weekend for the family as well, Nate. Went with the boy to see Rise of Skywalker yesterday morning. Leo And we watched the Mandalorian season finale last night on Disney+. Little personal note. Gutierrez shoots in. By the way, while I'm enjoying points of personal privilege.
Yes.
We opened last week's broadcast by congratulating Frank and Helen Saragosa on their wedding anniversary. And I'd like to congratulate myself and my wife Mitzi on our 18th wedding anniversary, which is today.
Oh, wow.
We went out and celebrated last night. She's here with our son James in the crowd tonight, but thanks for putting up with me for 18 years so far. Here's Escoto into the corner. Serta looking to center to Leo. And the pass maybe 2 inches away from pay dirt. Battle on the wall, and there's a soccer down on the wall.
They're going to have to stop this.
Believe that's Serta. Nope, Serta's watching, which would mean it's Escoto by process of elimination.
Yeah.
And let's take a look as Escoto had the leg extended there. And the call is for athletic trainer Paul Savage to come over.
Holding his left ankle, you can just see on our
which is
shot from our TVX guys here.
We remember the left ankle was the ankle that was kicked in the semifinal of the WMF World Cup back in October 11th and had him so hobbled that he had a hard time walking the next week after. Because it's Brandon, he of course played in the next night's game, but had a hard time walking. And I honestly thought was limited the first 2-3 matches of the year. By that injury. As we can see, he's back at full flight, and now he's down, and we hope not out for an extended period of time. But Escoto not yet up, and this was a serious-ish banger for Brandon. Yep, and he is favoring that left ankle. He is not going directly to the locker room, which is the first sign of good news. And I think now as we see him start to take some better steps, Nate, let's just say we hope it's more of a scare than it is anything else. And we want to remind you folks, when you head on out to the next San Diego Sockers home match next Sunday, make sure to bring the whole family. Our family 4-pack is one of the best sports values in all of San Diego sports. What do you get? You get 4 corner loge seats, 4 hot dogs, 4 drinks, all for just $79. And with free parking, that means you got plenty of money left over. It's like saving $15. You can go buy a t-shirt for that. Head to the merch stand and do that. Get your family 4-pack for our next match. You can order that online, sockers.com/, make that sdsockers.com/tickets, or you can just call us and avoid the fees, 866-799-GOAL. The goal is Leo from Escoto at 9:03. 1-0 Sockers leading Soles de Sonora on Leo's 5th of the season and 9th point in 5 games. Pino bumped off by Leyva as Soles looks to turn up the pressure now with Enrique Cañez. 12 points on the season. Pardo jumps on the loose ball. Players to watch. Number 9 Cañez, 7 goals, 12 points. Number 6 Rosales, 6 goals, 10 points. Number 89 Manuel Aragon, 6 goals, 10 points. Leyva has 7, and nobody else has more than 2. So really a top-heavy attack for Soles. You know the 4 guys you need to stop. Stop those 4 guys, you've generally stopped the offense. 2:45 left in a tactical first quarter. Soccer showing some pressure now. Well done, a use of the wall. Triggers a 3v2. Cañez, spinning ball on the tip, and then the diving slide tackle of the ball. They called a foul on Bond there. Thought he got ball first. And Soles says, hang on. We thought it could have been a carded foul. The net result, Nate, is going to be a dangerous set piece.
Yeah, and I think it's the danger of the tackle here from Bond. Coming in, I mean, the Souls are showing there a bit. That could have gone either way. I think the right outcome here, no card, but also a foul on 2.
And a very dangerous set piece. Yeah. Right into the wall. Leo blocks the shot. Second chance. Leo 2 blocks on the play. De Oliveira of 2 minds whether to escape or not. Came out to pressure. That ball chipped by Ortega across the frame. Not intended. Pino knocks this down. Pee-wee in tight quarters. Some more close quarter battles going on, and Gutierrez dispossessed by Miller along the near wall. Working through minute number 13, 1-0 Sockers. Chip back to Miller. Really great job by Mary Beth Hughes, Savannah Morehouse, Katie Maddox, our tickets department, working through the holiday week. I just know it. This is our biggest crowd of the year so far. Great stuff. Star Wars draws, man.
Still filing in, and folks in Star Wars mood and filling in the lower bowl. You love to see it. Sundays are for football here in San Diego, and Sundays are for Star Wars too. So we bring it all together, as we like to do.
Under 90 seconds in the first. Given the nature of this quarter, if Solis was able to pull one in here, it would essentially invalidate the work done in the first 12 minutes by San Diego. So important 75 seconds remaining. That ball took a bounce off the seam of the glass. At last scooped out and off the wall. Here comes Farber. Ball off the outside of his right foot. Almost an opportunity for a spectacular rush in by Farbs. Remember, Brian has a goal in every game so far this year that he's played. He missed one up in Turlock last weekend. But a 5-match goal streak is his MASL career best. Contreras, a nifty little foot fake on Wilo Martinez. 45 seconds left in the quarter. Tovar, Farber, Slavisha, Serra, and Contreras, the 5 on the floor right now for San Diego. And as Wilo went for a tumble, the ball sailed into Pardo's hands, rolled out Serta. One more attack chance. Wilo's down. Wilo's crying to the ref, but play continues nonetheless. 20 seconds. Perapovic. This shot off the logo. Farber trying to find it down. Here's Serta with 10 seconds. Here's Slav! Saved by Rubalcava. Slav, one more try. And Wilo dispossesses 2 seconds and 1, and the first quarter comes to an end. 1 goal for San Diego. Leonardo de Oliveira from Brandon Escoto at 9:03. 15 minutes complete from Pechanga Arena, San Diego. The score, the Sockers 1, Solis nothing. You're watching the San Diego Sockers on MASL TV.
Yourself to the fino things in life. Your team. The perfect fit. The game ball. Are you ready? Soccer Loco, next level performance.
All right, yeah, thanks, for sure, I'll be there. Hey, wait, hold on. I'm running by the field right now. You're never gonna guess. Dude, Medina's here. I think he's training for a comeback to the Sockers.
What are you talking about? Medina? He retired 2 years ago. He's too old, bro.
Oh, dude. You're right, bro. He's too old. Okay, so that barbecue, yeah.
Don't wait for the main. Call your Cairo today.
Dr. Corey's office, how can we help you?
I got this. Let's get him in.
Okay, sounds good, Mr. Medina. We'll see you shortly.
Join us on Sunday, January the 19th, as we celebrate year-round pro soccer in San Diego with SD Loyal Night at the San Diego Sockers. Come early for a fan fiesta in the parking lot starting at 3 p.m. The Sockers will battle the Mesquite Outlaws. We'll be joined by the players and head coach Landon Donovan. I've heard of that guy. From the new USL side, San Diego Loyal, who will begin play in March at Torero Stadium on the campus at USD for a special halftime ceremony, though, here on January the 19th in the Grand Old Arena. Kids will go home with a new Sockers bookmark and pencil. Get you all ready for the next semester of school. Get your tickets for SD Loyal Night now. Call 866-799-GOAL or go to sockers.com.
Cannot wait. Opening seconds here, second quarter, 1-0 San Diego on the Leonardo de Oliveira goal. Brian Farber trying to spin out of a double team from the south wall. Ball knocked by Contreras into a scoring area.
Look at Ray go.
How about it? Flying Raymundo Contreras.
You know, I picked up on something early in this night. I feel like Ray's got a little bone to pick.
The Armacio native was trying for a ripper. Just got under it with the left cleat. I'm with you. I think against his hometown team and former team.
Yeah.
Sockers signed him away from Solis about 3 seasons ago. Ray's got something to prove.
Oy!
And that includes a big hit on Leyva.
Oh, it might have been Slav coming in on Leyva there. It was a sandwich job there between Ray and Slav, with Leyva taking a nasty bit of contact that, again, Mike's down on the field. We could hear that all the way up here.
Well, yeah,
it was
both.
It was both.
I got your right hip, you get his left hip.
Oh,
yikes.
And Leyva, I think, took a little knock in the back of the head from Ray, and then the hip shot that you referenced there was from Slav. And you talk about having a tough one out. Another Hermosillo native down there, Alejandro Leyva. Making the contact and taking a long, painful walk back to the bench, shaking his head, saying, it's bad enough to get hit by one guy.
Right.
Hit by two at the same time.
Miller will get us back into play. And Contreras steps right up and dispossesses Cañez with some physical action. Here's Leo trying to spin out of the double team. He lost the ball. This roller was just wide and chested back by the whirling dervish Contreras. Slav draws pressure and plays it back. Pardo's got the ball at his feet. This attempted one-touch pass by Escoto. Here's Brandon back on the field, down. 2 passes each stolen. Counterattack opportunity. Rolling in, the sharp angled shot missed by 2 inches.
Just high.
Cañez out of the corner. Here comes the burst of Pee Wee. Escoto steps to the middle, cuts it back. Wrong shoulder and taken down by the head. No whistle sounds. Miller on Pee Wee. Play on. With the league having as a point of focus contact above the shoulder region. Thought that might be called. Here's Escoto. Shooting it in, punched away. Now Gutierrez. Good idea. Rubalcava up to it.
There's that whole thing I was talking about early on in the first quarter. Pepper shots on Rubalcava, look for rebounds.
Second chance goals for sure. Here's Farber chasing in, called for a foul.
I really think they're there to be had tonight, Craig. And again, after some of the goals that we saw the Sockers score in that game against Tacoma, we want entertainment value, we want artistry, but at the end of the day, score goals, win games. And I think there's going to be some serious second chance opportunities for San Diego tonight.
He's got Farber ahead. Christian takes the touch, but the pass intended for Farber was offline. Pino now recovers for San Diego. 17 minutes complete. Tovar. Dispossessed by Rosales. Chipping Pardo! Just missed! A golazo! Wow. Pardo comes out to hit it with the eyebrow. And then this one shanked like a bad golf tee shot into the night.
But after the hat trick last night, it was almost a thing of beauty there. Rosales trying to catch Pardo off his line. He almost did. If that's just an inch or two lower, Boris is beat. That was hit so well.
Solis, they're not going away, folks. They're not gonna go away. But the Sockers need to keep up the pressure because they're playing back-to-back nights. While San Diego's rested. Here's Farber, and the cross pass was stolen. Solis awareness in the last minute.
Barreras up this left side. Player gave the Sockers some fits. Back the last time Solis were in this building a couple weeks ago. He and Aragon. Aragon back on the bench right now, but look out for Solis, 28 and 89. Two players to keep an eye on for the rest of this half.
A scoreless quarter so far, 3 minutes off. Rubalcava bending one, a curveball into the right corner. Leyva settles. Farber can jump up and steal this pass. He's got Gutierrez in the middle, but nothing else happening. Farber jumps off, jumping on Escoto. That one hit the camera position for TVX. Quick restart, however, and working into the corner is Barreras.
Excellent first touch down there, by the way.
By the camera. Escoto.
Talking the TVX first touch down there. Come on.
Here's Escoto. Here's Escoto. Dug out. Good sliding tackle by Acuna. Ivan Acuna. Nice. Escoto out of nowhere to take that away.
It's awesome.
Lovely stuff. Slav right off the bench. Leo feeds him. Slav cutting in, cutting back. The left footer spinning around, taking two, still with the ball. Cuts it across. Aguirre had to wait for it. He had space for a second. Another southpaw. Speaking of which, here's Escoto. 3 on the floor. Cerda can shoot with both feet. Here's Slav. Slav back heel. Cerda. Cerda with the step. Cerda. There's the backdoor goal! Taylor Bond on the board for his first of the year. 2-0 San Diego.
Have yourself a sip, have yourself a toast. This is all about the build-up here. Patience from the Sockers. You love the give and go there. From Slav to Cerda, and Rubalcava gets some of the body on it in the end. Not the cleanest finish from Bond, but the deep end loves it. It's 2-0.
And Cerda back to the team lead with his 6th assist of the year, the dime doctor of Sutillo. And a great goal for San Diego. That's the kind of finish, as you said, it wasn't perfectly clean, but those are the kind of finishes San Diego has been working on week over week over week. Things that were not being finished at the beginning of the year. And this should be an easy one for the crowd. Yeah, easiest and best one of the year. Here's Farber. Just had to wait for Farbers and Bonds and such to score. By the way, they did well on De Oliveira as well. So Sockers out to a multi-goal lead now at 2-0, and the methodical nature of this game will benefit San Diego if they can keep it up into the second half. Aguirre under pressure. Solis needing to turn it up a notch, they feel. They've brought the high pressure. They've earned a steal. Here's Rosales. His shot! Pardo! Down and diving to make the save. Best chance in terms of a shot blocked so far tonight by the defending MASL Keeper of the Year. 10 minutes left, first half. 20 complete in the match. A third of the way through. 2-0 San Diego. Cerda drew pressure along the wall. Now this ball lifted out and knocked down. It's Aragon, and he lost it to Leo. Leo's got a runner on the left. Spots him. It's Cerda. Cerda coming in. Cesar Cerda. Cerda drew two, dipped it back. Escoto kept the ball moving nicely. Emmanuel Aguirre. Aguirre, first-year player out of RGV last season. Home city, Guadalajara. Escoto. Hometown, Tijuana. As Chewy growls his support over the Pechanga Arena San Diego loudspeakers. Aguirre surveys. Escoto checks into the middle. Brandon Escoto around 3, got the ball out. Pee-wee looking to distribute. It'll be Escoto's turn. Here comes Joras. Escoto, Aguirre. As Escoto is down, the whistle sounds. Pee-wee calls for a card. Did Escoto get hit on that same ankle, Nate?
I hope not, but I can't help but think he did. He's just looking up to the rafters right now going, is it just going to be one of those nights where I'm getting beat up the whole game?
Right ankle that time, but still.
Right ankle, right knee. Just, he's a guy who gets so bruised up.
Sure does.
And just keeps on coming back for more every time.
Pee-wee. Cuts it left, it's Leo. This shot knocked away by Rubalcava. Well defended by Angel, the keeper. You know, Jerry Jimenez and I talked about it on the latest Soccer's Overtime, that physical game. Here's Aguirre. Aguirre! Oh, baby, just missed.
Big save. Big save there from Rubalcaba.
Got a touch on it, eh?
No, that's going in. That's going in top corner if he doesn't get that fingertip to it.
Slav gets the ball back. Uba Parapovic down to Escoto! He just missed.
Oh.
Biwi chests it down and keeps the attack alive. Ortega. Biwi tried to send it back through a crowd to Escoto. Managed to keep his feet despite taking the push, and then,
Oh, it was a late situation there. Nothing intentional, I don't think, from Escoto there, and I hope everybody's okay here.
Take a second look at it as Leyva is the man in the mixer.
So the foul's there.
Right.
Foul's already called. Hey.
A little bit of a push in the back. I don't know, again, if it's intentional. Escoto's right down to
trip
try and help
there.
him.
I think he's kind of frustrated following through, but it's the trip and the push.
Yeah,
and
he was off balance when that, and as such, looks like he banged his knee against the boards.
Yeah.
But just to put a button on that, Soccer's Overtime, which you can subscribe to week in and week out. We go to timeout. We'll talk about it more on the other end, but we take a break now. 2-0 San Diego leading Solis on MASL TV.
Galifino Tequila. Treat yourself to the finer things in life.
folks, you can stay connected to the Sockers all season long with Soccer's Overtime, the podcast that gives you an inside look at the San Diego Sockers. Hosts Craig Elston and Jerry Jimenez bring you weekly recaps, previews, exclusive inside info, interviews, and more, presented by Three Punk Ales Brewing in Chula Vista. Subscribe to Soccer's Overtime in your phone today, wherever you get your podcast, and you can hear the dulcet tones of Jerry Jimenez.
Hey, you're the regular co-host unless you disappear to Northern California.
Magical substitution there on Soccer's Overtime. The latest edition featuring someone who is not shy when it comes to the podcast microphone.
Yes, indeed.
Fabulous podcast host in his own right of numerous shows, including many in the LAFC family, but making his Soccer's Overtime co-hosting debut in the latest edition of the show, our good pal Jerry Jimenez. And I assume that I will be back for the next one.
You will be back for the next one, but now, as this header just goes wide,
not counting any
weeks from now, you'll be heading off to Ireland and to Liverpool, right?
Spoiler alert.
So, Jerry will step in then, too. Murillo stepped in and got a steal along the wall. Sent it back to the middle to the dangerous Enrique Cañez. Left-footed shot, just wide, and Pino has to track down the loose ball rebound. Bond, who just scored the goal to put San Diego up by the number on his back, 2. Sends this one right into the waiting arms of Pardo, does Rubalcaba. 7.5 minutes left in the second quarter, halfway through the second frame. 1 goal each quarter for San Diego. Leo in the first, Bond in the second. Taylor Vaughn across to Cerda, who just dimed him up. Once practice rivals, now setting each other up for goals. Last year's practice clash will be remembered for a long time. I was there. Cerda, Bond turning, left foot, Bond rolling it off. It's Gutierrez, back to Farber. Farber playing at the tip of the spear there. Now Pino says, good idea. And this is the important thing, Nate, and a veteran club does it well, which is make your changes when you hold the ball, which forces Solis players to stay on the floor. They don't get to change. They've got the far change. And now Soccer's maybe get an advantage on this shift. Here's Slav. Slaviša Uba Parapovic. Was interviewed by San Diego Union Tribune writer Todd Leonard prior to the game today. Look for that story coming up in the UT as we head into the new year. Coming up at halftime, our special halftime interview will be with Director of Player Personnel, Cheeky Luna. Out to Pee Wee. Pee Wee curves it for Slav, 69-99. The pass was nice. Leo steps in on a steal that's nicer. Leo, the fancy footwork, the soul roll. Settling the ball back. Here's Pee Wee. Pee Wee, he gets it rolling. Pee Wee looking for the own goal off the leg of the Solis defender. Murillo in the corner, and Pee Wee again. Close quarter battles, no one's better than Luis Pee Wee Ortega. Long ball. Barreras and Pino. Pino, the last second turn. Barreras could have come in 1v0 on Pardo. And Slav gets tripped up. This could be and will be a blue card. An easy call made by Manuel Ortiz down there as the Sockers will see the game's first power play.
Well, I want to get another look at this here, this challenge from Murillo. And we'll see right here. We'll get a really good look at it right here. He never touched him. Irving Murillo, I feel for you. He was immediately giving that classic pantomime with the both hands, like a dolphin coming out of the water there. And look, the best of them will do it from time to time. You're selling a call, getting a power play for your team. It's Slavicia. Naughty, naughty.
Sockers 4 for 8 on the man advantage this season. Solis has allowed 5 power play goals in 9 attempts against. This Sockers power play will count down either to 3:40 remaining in the first half or to the San Diego Sockers' third goal of the night as they lead 2-0. Here's Pee Wee at the top. Pee Wee deflected off of the foot of a Solis defender and off the frame high. Leo, lovely not only to win it, now to turn and shoot it just wide. Slav settles on the half boards. Out to Ortega. Perapovic and Farber getting some power play time. I'd like to know, I haven't seen Craig Childs since early first quarter shift. Here's Slavicia Farber wide open on the back door. And him not being out on the power play tells me Craig Childs is probably down for the night.
And he looked a little slow when he was going back to the bench after that opening shift. I remember that now.
Great steal. Short-handed steal. And as Pee Wee tries to rake the ball out along the wall, Farber comes over. Make that Escoto, pardon me. 19.
With a little Pee Wee-esque there, though. It really was. It's doing the gritty, dirty stuff that Pee Wee does better than anybody. Escoto saying, I can do it too.
51 seconds left in the man advantage as the Viking clap is underway. Slav slices and dices. The shot skipped away by Rubalcava.
Good cover there by Miller. The rebound goal was certainly on there.
Pee Wee tried to
look out
force
here.
It through. It's a short-handed breakaway. Here comes Cañez. He's going to come on in, shoot and score. And Solis pulls one back, down a man, 2-1.
That's a backbreaker. That changes the entire complexion of this game. And great patience there, waiting to the last possible second to scoop that one up and over. Cañez trims the deficit in half. And you talk about a shift in momentum.
Yeah.
Mind you, the Sockers still have 32 seconds left on this power play to get that goal right back. But you're thinking a 3-0 lead and hopping this game into cruise control. And now look at where we are. This now becomes a huge 20 seconds of penalty kill for Sonora.
And the save by Rubalcava denies Slav from evening it out. 15 seconds. Slav tried to touch through traffic here. Here's another chance to break shorthanded. Rosales, who just picked up the lovely assist to trigger in.
One more chance, one more chance.
It's Leo, 4 seconds. Leo, 2 seconds. Escoto, 1 second. In the air, one-handed punch out Rubalcava. Power play is over. Sockers concede once and do not score. Wow. What a momentum turner in this match tonight. I'd like to go back to what we discussed as Phil Salvaggio calls timeout for San Diego. We've got 2 balls stuck between the glass and the netting right now. You see one of them. Craig Childs, Sockers captain, all-time leading goal scorer, currently on the longest scoreless drought of his career. 3 consecutive games with no goals, no points. took the opening shift tonight for San Diego, and we have not seen him on the floor since for the Sockers. So on one side, that if he does not return means it's a new 4-match scoreless streak for Childs and the longest of his career. But for San Diego, with a player, Eric Tovar, just coming back from injury himself, looks like he and Leo, with Bond moving up from midfield to the third forward position.
Yeah, and we'll get to the bottom of what exactly is going on with Craig Childs. There have been a couple of lingering injury issues, one of which is a hamstring problem that's just stuck around and not gone away as soon as some expected, including Craig Childs himself. So again, hopefully it's more precautionary measures and not any sort of major setbacks tonight, but Sockers just got to roll with the punches as far as tactically speaking and personnel wise, and they're doing that, yes, but I'll tell you who else is rolling with the punches in this game, and that's the Sons of Hermosillo. The Soles de Sonora, after falling down 2-0 in this game and seeming like they had a few tough calls go against them, that power play that maybe shouldn't have been for that foul on Slav, what do they end up getting? A shorthanded goal out of it, and they're right back in this contest, and a big closeout of 3.5 minutes here for Soles at the end of this half. I'd say a bigger 3.5 minutes for Soles really than San Diego right now.
Because of the punch out by Rubalcava, it was defensive clearance, and the Sockers get their second top of the arc chance of the night. Pee-wee rolls it, Slav shoots it, deflected, and it'll be a corner for San Diego.
If Sonora get to the dressing room, Craig, with a single goal deficit, that's a major victory in the first 30 minutes. To come out, Puncher's chance to tie it up in the third, so I want to see what the Soles can muster up here. They've done a really good job swarming defensively in this game and not giving the Sockers too much space to attack.
Here's Pee-wee, here's Slav. Slav off the wall, tries again, tried to scoop it with the outside of his left foot into the scoring zone, and Gutierrez will roll it back. We just heard an announcement from Calvin McClurg downstairs. Phil Salvaggio, head coach of the Sockers, received a yellow card during that last timeout. Jumping up on a steal, the wizened one, Zé Roberto.
Go on.
Farber. Leo on the wall. Zay turns faces, sends it over to Contreras. Zay to Leo, the two Brasileños working together now. Christian Gutierrez. Here's Zezu. Player assistant coach, Zé Roberto. First start of the year. Contreras in the corner. Raimundo. Stop and go move. Zay. No passing angle, blanks it back out to Leo. 2:47 left in the first half. Just a 2-1 score here in San Diego. Sockers on top. Leo, after some dazzling footwork, steps off. This shot knocked out by Rubalcava. Gutierrez scoops it off frame high.
There's your second chance again.
Here's Tovar, fresh off the bench. Battle with Aragon in the air. Foul called on Manuel Aragon. And Sockers were looking for the quick start, but only half the team knew it. Farber's jumping off on a substitution.
I like that last little shift for the Sockers there, lineup-wise. We talk about skill having no borders. We had 2 Brazilians, 2 Mexicans, and a guy from Idaho.
And we've got foul called. Or was that the start was too late and the player was too close? That's what Ramiro Cruz called. Said the player was too close to block that pass. Tovar is in the goal for San Diego right now. He's hoping to jump out and find one. He wants to put the yellow thing in the goal, not himself. Serra, the yellow thing also known as the ball or pelota. Balón, acceptable as well. Escoto, blocked. Serra, with an assist tonight. Gutierrez turning, flicking. Serra heading into the corner. Serra off the head, dangerous. Chipped out. Gutierrez reaching in. Excellent block by the official along the wall to deny Serra's path. Sockers will get the ball, restart from that north wall. Under 2 minutes to play in the second quarter. Here's Contreras. His shot! Rubalcava up to the task. He saw it all the way. But we love the aggressiveness of Raimundo Contreras tonight. Bardo lifts this one, headed away. Solis trying to chase it down. Leiva bumping with Serra in the air.
Strong stuff from both parties there.
Well done. This is a good match.
And we talked about the quote-unquote bone to pick for Raimundo playing against his former team. Sometimes it's not necessarily a vengeance thing that actually brings out the best. It's playing against your old friends and wanting to one-up your old pals, man. I think that's really what's going on for Raimundo tonight. He's got a lot to prove to his own team as well to get back to the form that we know of him, but
agreed.
This is a great kind of playing against your old buddies kind of mentality for Raimundo tonight.
Slav.
Which is a bummer that Pollo's not in the game actually as well.
True. Same situation. Great win of the ball by Contreras under pressure. Oh, the long shot's wide. Tovar was lurking, but could only get the shin on the ball.
Good ball here.
This is a run that got a lucky hop for San Diego and skipped out of bounds because Aragon could have run on that.
That's the pace of Aragon I'm talking about right there. It's almost Jamie Vardy-like. Just get him into open space and let him fly.
Minute 30 of the first half. Final minute. Here's Leo. 2 men on Leo is like 1 man on everyone else. Slav chips it, trying to get it back to Leo. Kanyes read it with the hip. Ball skipped away, though. Contreras, good slide tackle of the ball.
Counter on.
Counter attack. The opportunity, and then Kanyes gets bowled over. And
That's
the blue card is
gotta be
out.
a card. Gotta be. 100%. It's a foul that, whether it was intentional or not, we'll see right here. This shut down a meaningful counterattack opportunity. That overlap up the right. If that gets played through, that's a Soles player straight through on Boris Pardo's goal. And this is something that, as far as killing a penalty, sometimes a little beneficial to have it broken up.
Correct.
Stay fresh on the penalty kill, but still, good chance here for the visitors.
30 seconds left in the half. We'll worry about that, not the power play club. Man advantage, trying to steal the tie going into locker room.
I said down by a goal would be a victory. How about a tie score?
Miller into the corner. The return pass back to Miller. Shoots through, save, rebound. Kanyes looking for it, taken away by Cerda.
Yeah, save Pardo and then save Cerda. I'll tell you what, that's an empty net, and that lunge from Cesar Cerda kept this game at 2-1.
Rosales will shoot with 1 second left. And with .7, the Sockers will throw out and end the first half. So it'll be a minute 20 of power play for Sonora to start the third quarter after this chuck. And it'll be a simple skip out by Pardo concludes the first half of play. We see the dangerous attack and the huge reach out by Cesar Cerda to keep this a Sockers lead heading into halftime. 30 minutes complete. Each team tallies once in a tactical second quarter. And it's the Sockers 2, Soles 1, our score after 30 minutes of play on Star Wars night as the Soles boys get together for a team huddle before heading into the locker room. Momentarily, we'll head downstairs for Melissa May's interview with head coach Phil Salvaggio. Sockers opened the scoring at 9:03 of the first quarter. Leonardo de Oliveira from Brandon Escoto, a 1-0 lead after 15 minutes. Taylor Bonds back post finish from Cesar Cerda at 4:09. Made it 2-0, but the game turned, interestingly enough, on a power play for San Diego when the Sockers not only did not score, but conceded short-handed. Enrique Kanyes sent in by Gustavo Rosales 1v1 on the keeper Pardo and scoring at 10:48. And then San Diego will have a minute 20 of penalty to kill to open the second half of play. So for a team playing back-to-back nights, Soles de Sonora, a tremendous first half of play to be down just 1. Let's go down to the floor. Melissa May is standing by. Head coach Phil Salvaggio.
You looked a little surprised when you ran out of the sign and saw all the Star Wars characters. What do you think of the first soccer Star Wars night?
Oh, it's unbelievable, man. They were like real characters. I got a little shocked, so it was really fun. It looks like a fun night. The jerseys look great. We're having a good time.
I wish they gave you one, Coach, but the suit looks great too. But not only veteran Zay Roberto got the start tonight, but dressed for the first time this season. How is having a veteran like Zay in the lineup really helping your team tonight?
Yeah, Zay's a big part of it. He's actually part of the coaching staff, so he's a leader out there, and we need him. We need him to, and especially in these tight games like this, so we need him to take control of the back.
Defense is pretty solid through the first half, holding Sonora to just 4 shots on goal. How do you continue that momentum into the second half?
Well, that's their game plan, to sit back and counterattack them. They got one like that, a shorthanded goal, which we cannot allow. So hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Thanks, Coach.
And thank you, Melissa May, for the interview with Phil Salvaggio. The lights have dimmed. The San Diego Sabres are coming out for some halftime entertainment for the fans on Star Wars Night. When we come back, our halftime show includes an interview with Director of Player Personnel, Cheeky Luna. That is next. 2-1, Soccer's leading Solis de Sonora. Star Wars Night on MASL TV.
Galifino. Treat yourself to the fino things in life.
The proud son of an immigrant father, John Hernandez found his own path through a field of smoke. John found his fighting spirit in one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, a job few are willing to do. Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit.
It's Paulina Salazar, your preferred real estate agent for the San Diego Sockers. I would love the opportunity to show you guys what I could bring to the table as far as real estate goes. So please do not hesitate to shoot me a text or a phone call.
It's halftime here at Pechanga Arena, San Diego. San Diego Sockers taking on Solis de Sonora, the final fixture of 2019. Before we flip the calendar, thought it'd be a great time in our halftime feature to catch up with our Director of Player Personnel, also a big help to the coaching staff, and Sockers legend, four-time champion, Cheeky Luna. Hey, I was throwing that four-time champion, Cheeky.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a while, and we definitely need that back.
Well, let's talk about this season so far. Obviously, it wasn't the opener that you wanted, but the Sockers have recovered to win 5 in a row, 5-1 at the quarter pole. What are you seeing from the team so far?
Every day, every practice, every game, I think we're starting to see better things. The team's starting to gel. Obviously, we wanted to start out much better than we did. Turlock came in and played great. I don't want to say took them lightly, but we did not expect that to be the same Turlock squad, right? So when they came in, they shocked us, they outworked us, and they played well. By the time we tried to react, it was too late, and it was a learning lesson. I think the rest of the games we've come in a little bit better. We've stepped it up a little bit more, and we're starting to come along.
One of the things we've talked about a lot on the broadcast from week to week is the difference in the way the MASL is playing Brandon Escoto. He's seeing double teams outside the red line, not just in scoring areas. Essentially, it's running a double at him all the time and seeing how he reacts to it. What do you think is the next step for Brandon in his evolution as a player at still just 25 years old, now dealing with the attention of being one of the best 5 players in the league?
Yeah, before last season, Brandon came in and people weren't really focusing on him. It was Childs, Leo. There was a lot of other players that people were really focusing on. He had a breakout year, and people took notice. and they saw how talented he is, how good he is, and now it's the maturity factor. It's the growing as a player, as a person, and knowing, hey, you're not going to have a hat trick every game, and you got to do other things. You contribute in other ways. Maybe you have 3 assists in a day, or hey, you might have 2 blocks, and that means you had a good game. And I think he has some learning to do, some growing up to do. Once we can get him to realize that success isn't measured by him scoring, 4 goals a game, I think it's going to help us out. It's going to help him out a lot. But it's good. It's taking attention off our other players, and we have a deep squad.
Couple of tactical additions to the Sockers during the offseason. In the free agent period, you signed Emmanuel Aguirre, you signed Diego Arriaga as a backup goalkeeper, and then late in the offseason, the trade for Slaviša Uba-Peripović. What are your thoughts so far now, 6 games again into 24, of how the new additions have fit in?
We're growing. We're coming along. You forget another name like Luis Piffer. We brought him in the offseason. So we added quite a few guys. We moved around a few pieces. It's been getting used to the new guys, getting used to the new roles. We're changing up a little bit our style than what we were doing last year. I think we're trying to gear up for the playoffs. I know it's early on, but we're saying, hey, let's play playoff soccer as opposed to necessarily run and gun and just go beat teams 10-9 every game. So, those guys are coming along. It's getting better. Every practice is getting better. And right now, I think the big thing is our locker room is fantastic. Everyone in there truly enjoys themselves. They're having a great time. And I think that's going to take us a long way.
That's the Director of Player Personnel for the San Diego Sockers, Chiqui Luna. Chiqui, thank you so much, and prospero año.
Hey, Happy New Year to everyone. Thanks for watching. I have to say hi to Natalia and Nico watching at home because they can't come to the game. They're not feeling well. But Natalia, Nico, wife Ceci, love you guys.
We'll be right back. We'll bring you the first half stats and stories, and we'll kick off the second half next on MASL TV.
Yourself to the fino things in life. Your team. The perfect fit. The game ball. Are you ready? Soccer Loco, next level performance.
All right, yeah, thanks for sure. I'll be there. Hey, wait, hold on. I'm running by the field right now. You're never gonna guess. Dude, Medina's here. I think he's training for a comeback to the Sockers.
What are you talking about? Medina? He retired 2 years ago. He's too old, bro.
Oh, dude. You're right, bro. He's too old. Okay, so that barbecue, yeah.
Don't wait for the rain. Call your Cairo today.
Dr. Corey's office, how can we help you?
I got this. Let's get him in.
Okay, sounds good, Mr. Medina. We'll see you shortly.
Halftime, and we bring you the replays from the first half. Sockers leading 2-1. You saw the Leonardo de Oliveira goal. Slaviša Uba-Peripović, saved by Angel Rubalcava. This was Cerda to Taylor Bond. And while Rubalcava got a piece of it, not enough. But when the Sockers had a power play, Rosales with a beautiful lead-out pass and the very calm left-footed finish by Enrique Cañez. And then late with the Sockers down a man, it was Cerda stepping in on Cañez to deny him an equalizer and a potential 2-2 tie. Instead, 2-1 as the fans are enjoying dance cam action here at Pechanga Arena, San Diego. Great crowd on a Sunday night. Hey, why not bring your family out to join us next Sunday for Retro Night? Sockers taking on the Ontario Fury. That's always a tightly contested battle, as you know. Sockers will be looking for their 10th straight win over Ontario next week, but it seems like of those 9 straight wins, almost all of them by a goal or 2. Usually it's a good one, facing Chris Toth, Frank Taiu, Jermaine Jones, and the rest of the Fury, and it will be Retro Night. Sockers will be wearing their 1989-1990 retro kits. First of 2 times this year. They'll do it again on Alumni Night on March 8th. There's Darth Maul getting into the fun. That's my buddy Roberto Ruiz. And see, he revealed himself just in the nick of time. And for the Sockers Retro Night against the Fury, it'll also be team poster night. Everybody coming through picks up a Sockers 2019-2020 team poster. And for the first of 2 times this year, the Sockers will have on-field post-match autographs. So you bring your family, you get that team poster, you enjoy the sights and sounds of 1990, 30 years revisited on Retro Night. And then after the match, you come on down with the family and you get to meet, greet, take pictures with, and get signed autographs from the San Diego Sockers. Retro Night next Sunday. Tickets at sdsockers.com/tickets or toll free, no fees, 866-799-GOAL is the number to use. So the Sockers leading 2-1. However, they will have a minute 20 of penalty kill to open up the third quarter. It could be very, very interesting. One thing I'd like to note, Boris Pardo and Diego Arriaga stayed out on the field for almost the entire halftime. Arriaga was warming up. And I don't know if on that last save or at some other point in the match, Boris Pardo felt something. Pardo is down there on the field with the boys during warm-ups right now. But we're going to have to wait and see. Is this an official change in net for San Diego or not? I got a word from down on the floor that could potentially be the case. And only time will tell, so to speak, for the Sockers and Soles de Sonora. Again, Sonora played last night at Toyota Arena up in Ontario against the Ontario Fury and were victorious, pulling it out in the second half, coming from 2 goals down at halftime for an 8-7 win. They are playing the second of back-to-back nights. However, the Sockers lost their captain, Craig Childs, early in the first quarter. He took 1 shift, did not come back out, and as we look at the warm-up scrum, he is not on the floor and therefore will not be coming back into the match this evening for San Diego. So it's going to be 4 straight scoreless games for Craig Childs, but far more important for San Diego is getting their captain right for the second half of the season. He hasn't been right for 1 match yet this year. Will he be at full health and fitness in the second half of the season for San Diego when they have to play 9 out of 10 on the road? That's the big question for the San Diego Sockers going forward as we develop themes. There's assistant coach Rene Ortiz, normally our pre-third quarter guest. He escaped our Melissa May's grasp this time, and as such, we're just about ready. And it is a change in net for the San Diego Sockers as the Mexico City native Diego Arriaga takes over. Boris Pardo goes the first 30. He's on the bench for the second 30 tonight. Fascinating. We'll try and find out more about this as we go forward. Right now, I'd like to turn over the mic and third quarter play-by-play to my dear friend and colleague, Nate Abrea.
Thank you very much, Craig Elston. So you're caught up on the scoring. The Sockers went up 1-0 and 2-0 in the first quarter. Then in the second quarter, first goal from Leo, second goal from Taylor Bond. Cañez got one back shorthanded for Soles de Sonora. That's all the scoring. Now, as far as up to the minutes relations to you, you just heard a very important one from Craig Elston about that change in net for the San Diego Sockers. The native of Queens making way for the native of Ciudad de Mexico. Diego Arriaga replacing Boris Pardo for the second 30-minute half here in this Major Arena Soccer League contest between the visitors from Hermosillo and those black Darth Vader Star Wars themed uni-clad San Diego Sockers. There's Diego Arriaga. We're underway here in the second half. Soles de Sonora, the other thing we must refresh you on, they're on a power play. And here they come. And here's a ball to the near post that gets by Arriaga and straight into the action. This one's headed off the line. This one's blocked by Farber. This one's blocked by Pee-wee.
Wow.
And it's out of bounds. A wild opening 21 seconds to this half here in San Diego. And a little under a minute left here on this penalty kill. Fish out of the frying pan into the fryer for Arriaga. Rosales scored a hat trick last night. Tried to dime up his teammate on the left side there, and now he'll be coming over to take the free kick, I believe.
A flurry of activity, and here's Guerrero, Pino, and boy, that ball was 88% over the line, but not 100. Brian Farber with the block. Sockers team defense trying to bail out Diego, who needs to get warmed up into this match in a hurry.
It's actually Miller over the free kick, but watch Rosales near the red line here. Instead, it's taken direct. It's blocked. It's boomed clear. No such goalkeeping change for the visitors from Hermosillo. Angel Rubalcaba made some big saves in that first half. Nothing too spectacular. A lot of shots right down the throat, but got his whole body behind a few times. Made some key stops for the visitors, and now he comes out to collect with the feet and plays forward to Gustavo Rosales. Another Mexico City native out there for Soles. Sons of Sonora. This one's blasted off the glass. Right back to the man who kicked it, Cañez. Back with the man you heard so much about, Rosales. This one's clipped forward. Awkward one for Pino, and that one skirted out.
Now it skipped off glass and out, but took kind of a sideways roll, so a restart from the wall.
Strange science there as that one deflected at an awkward angle, and now it's the set piece from this right side for Rosales. Rosales tries low, kick save, and a half a beauty from Diego Arriaga, and the power play has been killed off, but Sockers not out of the woods just yet. Chewy's excited on the PA, but the Sockers must maintain the focus here as Rosales has been out there for one heck of a shift. Gives and goes. Miller plays over to the left-hand side, drive across the face of goal. Awkward one for Contreras, forward to Pee-wee. Across the Kaiser Permanente logo, Sockers unable to really get anything going thus far here in the second half as they were killing a penalty for the majority of the time since the restart. Now back to even strength. We'll see if the Sockers attack can really start clicking, as we saw for a couple of spells in that first half. Slaviša Ubaparapovic, a couple of great link-ups with Brandon Escoto back in that first and into the second quarter. Sockers without Craig Childs. Soles with a great chance on goal and a beautiful finish in the end of it. And it's a brace for Enrique Cañez. Goal! Soles de Sonora tie it up at 2.
Aragon the assist, but Diego very aggressive on that first challenge, but to be quite honest, Nate, it takes him out of position for the second shot. He's there, and Cañez thought about the back heel attempt at goal. Diego charged out, Cañez turned, saw the open angle, and roofed it for his 9th goal of the season. And just like that, it's not a power play goal, but the Sockers find themselves back to even terms on a game without their captain and now their goalkeeper of the year.
Diego Arriaga certainly went on a little trip of his own there and got himself caught in no man's land, and that was part of that goal, but take nothing away from that swinging left-footed volley there from Cañez of the half volley, it should be said to be exact. Gañez with the brace. Soles from 2-0 down, back on even terms. It's just over a dozen minutes remaining here in this third period. Leo trying to do Leo things down there, and somehow, some way gets the ball back as he's being tugged, and now the foul call comes.
Leo just kind of staring and saying, you could have blown that whistle about 10 seconds ago, boss.
It's a brilliant left-footed volley finish that went viral last week off the foot of Slaviša Beparapovic. Not quite as good as that golazo from Slav last week, but that was a brilliant finish there from Enrique Gañez.
Well, San Diego had 5 goals in 7 minutes in the third quarter last week, and a similar outburst is necessary for San Diego because right now this is really Solis ball game. It's been played at their pace and at their desired tempo for the last 20 minutes or so.
Well, and Craig, I go back to that shorthanded goal that Gañez scored on the Sockers power play, called it a backbreaker, called it a momentum changer, and it just keeps on. They talk about back sell. That goal in the second quarter really changed the complexion of this game. Sockers on the power play, creating chances at the other end. You're thinking a 3-0 lead. Instead, it went to 2-1. Now we're deadlocked at 2 apiece. And as my partner rightly said, it really feels as a high boot from Brandon Escoto is going to draw a blue card. And Soles are going to go on a power play as Irving Murillo is squirming around. You're going to see on the replay here. Oy, oy, oy.
I mean, that cleat got up. I don't know if it actually got up to the face, but it got up. And it made it an easy call. And now it's a Sockers team that is very much staggered and on the back foot for the moment. They're going to go a man down again in a game where they've conceded the last 2. By the way, Nate, I get a word from downstairs that this was a pre-planned move yesterday. Now we get a yellow up as well, Nate. But that the goalie change at halftime was a pre-designed move by head coach Phil Salvaggio.
We're going to get one more look at this contact from Escoto right there.
Brandon knew he had committed a foul. He had the hand out right away. Murillo is going back to the bench, seeking a little bit further attention.
There was something that came off of the head area of Murillo there as the foot made contact with him. Not sure exactly what that was, but it looks like a yellow card.
Well, we'll get the call on the so the yellow's on this, must be on Escoto as well.
Yeah, and Tovar is going to go over to serve in the box with.
So Tovar will be the man running out at the end of the power play if the Sockers kill it.
Yeah.
And Escoto has to wait till 5 minutes.
That is a major blow to the Sockers there and to Brandon Escoto personally. And here comes the power play for Soles de Sonora. It was a short-handed goal that we said changed the complexion of this game. Well, perhaps it's a power play goal that will really throw a dent in how we expected this thing to go. Rosales works it back. Pino knocked forward. Frantic stuff at the back for the Sockers. Gañez on a hat trick now. Miller over to Rosales. Rosales in. This one's off glass. Gañez fakes. Right-footed volley swing into the netting, and the Sockers have a chance to clear their lines.
Aragon was one pass off. He had Leyva open on the back post unmarked, and there was just a second where if the ball had gotten there, it was going to be a tap-in. And that moment escaped, and Pee Wee Ortega was able to recover. So a minute 39 left in this power play. It'll count either to 9:15 or to a third goal, potentially go-ahead goal for Soles de Sonora.
Well, or perhaps the Sockers can take a page out of the good book of Hermosillo and get one shorty, the way that Soles did back in that second quarter. Ryan Farber rising high, and rising high again, that time at the bottom of the foot. Ironic, considering the reason for this power play in the first place.
Right.
But Farber keeping the boot down just enough. This one's rolled out to the feet of Adrian Miller. Miller driving forward, kind of gliding forward towards the red line. Aragon. Back to Rosales. Rosales to Miller. Miller thwarted by Cesar Cerda. Drive low. Comes to the goal scorer extraordinaire, off glass, off the bar, and back with Gañez now. Gañez taps down for Miller, low shot, pawed wide. Aragon. Back back into the mixer, and Brian Farber clears Exhale San Diego.
48 seconds on the power play.
Rosales drives forward again. Rosales drives with the right foot. Bit of an awkward one for Diego Arriaga. But the 5'7" goalie is getting his feet wet and getting into this game. He has no choice. The shots just keep coming. This one's driven to the far post and it's in. Manuel Aragon gives Soles the lead. Goal! San Diego 2, Sonora 3. Manuel Aragon, we talked about it in the opening and throughout the first quarter. This guy gave the Sockers fits and got under San Diego's skin back on the 15th of January. And here on the 29th, it's a right-footed drive to the far post and dance moves to boot. They give the Soles a 3-2 lead, Craig.
And Arriaga helpless to the result. Not sure if he even saw that shot until it was halfway in, but honestly didn't make a move at that ball as it whizzed past him. And now the Saturday decision by head coach Phil Salvaggio to sit at halftime as goalkeeper of the year, a somewhat cheeky decision, right now is looking highly questionable. Not that Arriaga is to say
at
responsible
fault for either of the goals, but you put in a new goalie and you relinquish your 2-1 lead just like that. Now you're down 3-2. What's the call here?
Looks like a red line restart for San Diego, or will it be top of the arc?
They're giving top of the arc. That's what I was wondering.
This is important now for the Sockers. Might have noted earlier in the broadcast, the Fury scored both of their set pieces last night, and the Sockers have not scored either of theirs. This is opportunity number 3. Let's see if third time's the charm.
Slavisha Uba Peripovic taps to Christian, save the near post by Rubalcaba, bicicleta from the Tijuanense, chested down, cleared out. Arriaga not to collect with the feet next to the Kaiser Permanente logo. Bombs clear, off glass, high off glass. Christian waiting and one off glass and back to Rubalcaba. The close down was Aguirre. It's a lovely little tres dedos action on that service over the top. And in the star of the night for Soles, Gañez, and he swings with the left foot, and he almost kept that down. It's up into the netting. Gañez has had some spectacular highlight moments in this game, not the least of which being the 2 goals. A delectable chip up and over Boris Pardo for that shorthanded strike back in the second quarter, and a swinging left-footed volley to get past Arriaga here in the third.
Sockers' energy level has gone from low to where is it? And this is the time, normally, Nate, that you'd look to a veteran leader like a Craig Childs or a Boris Pardo to help set the tone.
I was just going to ask, where's it going to come from? Here's Christian Gutierrez trying to provide some impetus for his side, but straight into the breadbasket. The ever so grateful hands of Rubalcaba. Soles driving forward. They've controlled this third quarter. They came out on a power play. Now the foul is drawn down there by Cerda. They came out on that power play and did not score. Had over a minute left on the man advantage, 1:21 to be exact. They did not score in the power play. They've scored 2 goals since, both at even strength.
By the way, the Escoto yellow was for severe unsportsmanlike manner. Second time we've heard that this season.
The only other time that we heard that was in a matchup between these 2 sides. It's been rather sporting in this game, a few unsportsmanlike moments. Here's Leonardo de Oliveira looking for a brilliant moment. Shot was always tailing wide, and Cerda going to chase down, and Arriaga will follow suit. Get to it first. 7:50 left. Here in a third quarter that's been dominated by the visitors clad in white. Here's Brian Farber almost sneaking his way in. That's going to take us to the timeout. We're going to take a break right here on MASL TV. Sockers 2, Soles 3. We're back after this.
Treat yourself to the fino things in life.
The proud son of an immigrant father, John Hernandez found his own path through a field of smoke. John found his fighting spirit in one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, a job few are willing to do. Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit.
Sockers trailing Solis de Sonora 3-2. We invite you to stay tuned and follow the Sockers all season long on social media. Get exclusive behind-the-scenes content, online-only deals, interviews, pictures, and more all season long every day. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter or Instagram at San Diego Sockers. And new this season, social media coverage of the Sockers in Spanish. Follow our Spanish-language Twitter and Instagram feeds at Somos Sockers. Sonora leading 3-2. Craig Elston, Nate Abadea, Nate on the third quarter play-by-play. And Nate, you know, we look at the details that the team needs to be championship caliber. And right now the Sockers are badly lacking in two key detail areas: special teams and set pieces. Those things are coming up dry. Sockers are -2 in special teams tonight, conceding one shorthanded, giving up a power play goal as well. And they are 0 for 3 on set pieces tonight.
Details, details, details. They'll always come back and bite you. Here's Cristian Gutierrez. Off glass. The Sockers led 2-0 in this game. They now trail 3-2. Guerrero Pino. Wide to Cerda. Cesar Cerda, just behind the red line across the Soccer Loco logo. Now over here to Brian Farber. Tovar into the game. Guerrero Pino drives from distance. Shot blocked. Strong block from Barreras. Arriaga heads down. We dip under 7 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. It has seen the visitors from Hermosillo come from that 2-1 halftime deficit. Where the score stands right now, and look out here as Arriaga's caught out, and the Sockers give one away. Alejandro Leiva for Sonora. Goal! 6:44 left in the third. And the lads from Hermosillo have absolutely flipped this game on its head.
And while the first 2 goals he conceded were not his fault, this one 100% is. It's on Diego Arriaga. It was a mistake, and he's out of there. Just like that, Arriaga is out, and Pardo is back in. And it must be said, and my apologies to the man who signs my checks, but that was a terrible decision by head coach Phil Salvaggio. It did not reflect in any way, shape, or form the rhythm of the game. That was a decision made before the game that did not reflect the tenor of the game and has been put right back into the Sockers net 3 times in succession. And it's nothing against Diego, who's going to be a great player for this team this year and for years to come. It's nothing against the head coach, who's made a lot of smart choices, but it goes back to an old, you always have to read the game as it is, not as you think it will be.
Shoulder of Taylor Bond brings this one down. Raimundo Contreras forward to the red line.
And that gets the cheer of the crowd that Pardo's back in.
Bond forward to Slaviša Perapovic. Slav. Raimundo drives. Shot saved. Contreras batted that one down with the handball. We'll see a replay here.
As Contreras looking for the skipping ball. How about that? Through traffic. A great save by Rubalcaba. I noted at the start of this broadcast a save percentage just around 50% for Rubalcaba, but he has been much better than he played last night in Ontario and better than he's played most of the year. Great job.
Sockers haven't really been picking corners all too much on these shot attempts, and Taylor Bond comes through late and has a few afterwards with Acuna there. See Rubalcaba get challenged laterally. See him moving left to right a little bit more. Look out here as Boris Pardo has this one clipped up and over him, and Soles don't care who's in goal for San Diego. They just keep on hunting for more. And now Pee-wee down in one of his classic Pee-wee battles down there, and as he so often does, he comes out with it, but quickly it's given away. Raimundo fell asleep but wakes back up, gets it back for San Diego. Tovar tries to clip ahead to Contreras on the overlap. Slaviša picks up the sloppy pieces here in these last few seconds. Either side looking all too crisp since this last restart. Leo slows it down to the maestro of the symphony, allows for the runners to come on both sides and plays it over to the right. And Raimundo Contreras Slaviša Perapovic. And that's Soccer's logo. This club founded way back in 1978. Ready to venture in to a new decade after this game is all said and done here on Star Wars night. It's been the intergalactic prowess of the boys from Hermosillo. And that time, Taylor Bond just tried to make it a little bit too difficult. A wee bit too fancy from Bond, who had a tap in earlier in this game to give the Sockers a 2-0 lead. You thought he was going to get one back for the black Darth Vader uni-clad home team. 'Twas not to be. Throw out upcoming for Boris.
And again, the Sockers are playing without their captain, Craig Childs, who would normally be taking these forward line shifts. It was supposed to be Childs, Leo Tovar up front, but that's a play that Taylor Bond needs to finish. I mean, plain and simple. This is a guy who once scored 40 goals in the season for the Chicago Mustangs, has been a 20-goal scorer in his career. Last year, he scored only 3 goals, and it was misses from down low and close that would plague him last year and have plagued him this
Here's
time.
Farber at the back post. Christian steps in. Farber's still waiting at the back post, screaming at the back post, and it just never came his way. Cerda tells Boris he's got it. Now calmly plays back to him. Boris crisply out to Leonardo de Oliveira. Chewy keeps growling. The Sockers keep misfiring here on Star Wars night. 4:20 remaining in the third. Soles with a 4-2 lead after trailing 2-0 back in the second quarter. But here's Christian. Shot blocked. Trickles harmlessly into the hands of Rubalcaba. High throw out. Headed back by Pino. Farber gives chase. Unlucky bounce. Up and out. Sonora ball.
You know, when the Sockers are playing well, when an indoor club is playing well, Zescoto's penalty is now over, they seem to have a hive mind, everybody being of one mind and moving in synchronous, and it's been basically the opposite of that for about the last 30 minutes of gameplay for the Sockers. One player thinking one thing, 2 other players thinking something else, and that last run was a perfect example. Gutierrez, the shot was the worst of the 3 options there, and that's the one taken.
A 5-1 scoring output against Tacoma last Sunday night in the third quarter. That's what the Sockers pulled off in that 15-minute third period a week ago. Tonight, just a bit to the contrary. They came out with a 2-1 lead, and now they trail 4-2. It's 3-0 Sonora here in this third quarter. Confusion on the line change, and Miller picks up the pieces. It's getting sloppy for San Diego right now, and something's got to change. Something's got to give. Leo frustrated as he walks back to the bench. Maybe some veteran presence, such as Eric Tovar coming back into the game, can provide that leadership that the Sockers are so clearly lacking without Childs in the mix in this game after, we believe, re-aggravating one of his 2 injuries, either the hamstring or something in the groin area. You hope that it's just something precautionary. Again, as Childs has been battling these injury setbacks. Cerda drives low to the far post. Craig Childs is not going to be playing in this game. The players you're seeing on your screen right now, they're the ones who are going to have to get it done. And right now, no one's getting it done. But here's Cerda, and here's Slav! Goal! Slaviša Perapovic, deficit cut in half. Goal! San Diego!
The hive mind returns as the Sockers get a needed goal, and it's Cerda. Now the team leader once again in assists, the perfect squaring ball across. That's the execution the Sockers have needed.
And such a testament to the soccer mind and the human being that is Slaviša Perapovic, the famous kicking of the souvenir ball when a goal scorer gets his name up in lights here at the Grand Old Arena. Slav saying, nah, this one goes to Cesar. That was a classy gesture there from Uba Perapovic. And as the...
Look out.
Oh, foul down low.
And that's Aguirre drawing one in the penalty area, and a needed one as the Sockers were in hot water 20 seconds after scoring.
Aguirre gets them out of said hot water, and the Sockers fans doing a great job mastering those somewhat challenging Bosnian names, those heavy syllable names of some of these players, and I'd say no more challenging name on the Sockers team than Slaviša Perapovic. And the Sockers fans doing a mighty good job there. Here's Escoto. Escoto to Cristian Gutierrez off the post. Gutierrez back off glass. Leo save. Leo back with the right foot. Back to Pee-wee Ortega.
Great save, Rubalcaba.
We talked about trying to pick corners and forcing them to move laterally. They did just that. Aguirre. Pee-wee. Pee-wee. Leo. Leo off glass. Off of Pee-wee's head. Perhaps inadvertent. Under 2 minutes remaining here in this third quarter. Aguirre clearly tripped.
No.
I don't think it's going to be blue. Just a standard foul. Hard foul from Cristian Espinosa. The Sockers in a lively arena, in an atmospheric Pechanga Arena, San Diego.
This was the great chance by Gutierrez. Well, he just missed it, but he hit left post.
Well, we had to cut short there as the Sockers almost put another one in there, and it was an easy save in the end of it for Rubalcaba. 90 seconds remaining here in this third period.
3v2.
Here comes Pee-wee. Pee-wee just a little bit ahead of Tovar. Tovar brings it down with the right foot. Tovar, still Tovar, still Tovar. Pee-wee, save. Rubalcaba, he just swats it away. Now it's back to Soles, and they just cleared their lines. They're trying to get into the dressing room with that one-goal lead intact. 1 minute. 1 minute remaining here in the third quarter. A lively 14 minutes. What's in store here in the final one? Escoto just across the center line. Escoto gives it away. Oh, it's a chance for the visitors. It's a chance for Soles de Sonora. Shot to the far post. And Cristian Espinosa saw his name up in lights and couldn't put it home.
That's a foul on Cañez. That's 4. They just announced while you were speaking, Nate, 3 fouls on Enrique Cañez. That should be 4, and that should be a blue card for San Diego if their announcement was correct. Here's the look back at the Tovar play on offense and the save by Rubalcaba.
So the foul was actually against San Diego, Craig. So.
Okay, well, that explains it. Wait a second.
That was a 50-50 call. I understand the confusion there, but it's actually Soles with the ball. And
Well, the foul was on Escoto a second before an actual foul by Cañez.
Cañez breathes the sigh of relief. The Soles, I think, are going to be content to just kind of run the clock out here and go into the break with this one-goal lead. Unless Rosales wants to get risky about it. You know he doesn't want to give this away. He's going to play back to the goalie. Look out here. Rubalcaba out off his line. Tovar pokes away. 4 seconds left. Tovar off glass, and Farmer flying in. And he cannot get to it. And the horn sounds in a wacky, wild, and downright weird third quarter comes to a close here on Star Wars night at the Grand Old Arena. The Sockers had a 2-1 lead after 30 minutes. After 45, they trail by 1. It's the Sockers 3, Soles de Sonora 4. We're back with fourth quarter action after this right here on MASL TV.
Califino, treat yourself to the fino things in life.
The proud son of an immigrant father, John Hernandez found his own path through a field of smoke. John found his fighting spirit in one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, a job few are willing to do. Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit.
It's Paulina Salazar, your preferred real estate agent for the San Diego Sockers. I would love the opportunity to show you guys what I could bring to the table as far as real estate goes. So please do not hesitate to shoot me a text or a phone call.
Sockers 3, Soles 4. How did we get here, you might ask? Well, let me tell you. Leonardo de Oliveira back in the first quarter. A fine bit of Leo skill. Leo doing Leo-like things. And slotting one to the near post to give the Sockers a 1-0 lead. That was the score at the end of the first quarter. Taylor Bond tapped home from close range to make it 2-0 to San Diego. Then the Sockers went on a power play. And you're thinking 3-0 up, put this game in cruise control, get something really good going into the break. But not so fast, said Enrique Caña as he bolted the other way and scored a delectable chip up and over Boris Pardo to make the score 2-1, shorthanded goal. And then an awkward decision, I guess we'll call it. One that was apparently made yesterday that saw Boris Pardo removed from the game at halftime for Diego Arriaga. Diego Arriaga played just a few minutes and gave up 3 goals. Cañas got his brace. Aragon made it 3-2. Leyva made it 4-2. Slaviša Ubaperapovic got one back before the horn sounded, and we reached the 45-minute mark of this game, bringing you where we stand right now. And we'll see this goal here from Slaviša Ubaperapovic, a magnificent 7 on the season for the man from Bosnia. And as the Sockers get ready to kick off here in the fourth quarter, yours truly, Nate Abarea, Melissa May, our TVX crew, and Craig Elston.
Talking about Leonardo de Oliveira in the corner, and the Sockers in hot water at home. Lost only once in the regular season at all last year, and it was a home loss. Lost the season opener this year to the Turlock Cal Express. They've won 5 in a row, but the Sockers staring at a deficit. And the foul called will set up a set piece for San Diego. Now, let's keep in mind, Soles de Sonora played last night. A banger of an 8-7 win against the Ontario Fury up at Toyota Arena. And if there ever is a quarter where the lying in wait advantage of the team that rested and waited, it's the fourth quarter. So let's see if San Diego's got the finishing burst over the tiring visitors from Hermosillo. We talked about the details. We talked about set pieces. This is a big one right now. Slav tips out. Leo will shoot. Leo will score! The Sockers are to level terms as Leonardo de Oliveira has his brace. Slav the assist. Set piece goes. Sockers tie it 4-4.
It's all about getting the keeper moving laterally. It's exactly what they did. And on a night where Rubalcaba's made a lot of challenging saves, that was one of his easier ones, and it was the fact that he had to lean the other way, and he just got wrong-footed.
Yep.
And Leo having a few afterwards there for the Soles player, but the Sockers are back to 4-4. How about it?
Just 30 seconds into the action. And it's Leo and Slav putting on a show. Farber getting the ball out at close quarters, and Leo's right back out there, hoping. Now look at Farber flying in, trying to take it away from Aragon. First minute, fourth quarter, anyone's game, tied at 4 now. Contreras will chase this one down in his own zone.
Here you go, a 14-minute Major Arena Soccer League match. 4-all between these two sides. It was all Sockers early. They just couldn't pull away. Soles kept it close. Sockers fight back, but look out here.
This stretch pass was blocked down. Soles did not have the runners to really take advantage. And I got to say, right now, we talk about that fatigue and fitness and the back-to-backs. And Soles, for the moment, looks slowed. Goals can slow you down and tire you out. Here's the pressure. Here's the chance. And they call a foul on Leo, denying Escoto a breakaway.
Tough one there on Leo.
Crucial whistle.
It's a tough call on Leo. And they get another look at it here. He's always, and again, there might not have been that much contact, but it's that hand in the cookie jar principle, the extension of the left forearm there. I think that's really what drew the whistle.
This ball, Pino, who saved a goal early in the third quarter for San Diego with a header off the line. Header 2/3 of the way over the line. Rubalcaba sends it. Contreras heads it back into danger, but nobody there for San Diego.
He keeps the charge going.
Yeah, and look
he
at
forced
this
that
funky little punt in the air. Backward spin. Rubalcaba is able to dig it out.
The Soles player just got the wind knocked out of him there by Raimundo. Down on the field, it's Acuna. Acuna A little slow to get up, understandably so. I don't think there was any ill will there from Contreras or necessarily even a foul. But you can certainly understand Acuna needing a moment to catch his breath, as the Sockers are looking to find the right droids and get firing on all cylinders here.
And the Sockers, without their captain Craig Childs, started the match, played his first shift, and was shut down. He's downstairs in street clothes, so we knew it, but it's official. He's out for the match. And then a very ill-timed decision based on the rhythm of the game to change keepers at halftime. And that backfired. But now Bond trying to send in Slav. The pass was a half-second late. Return! Rubalcaba steals it away from Taylor's waiting noggin. Rubalcava's under pressure. Perhaps a slight touch of that ball for San Diego. Contreras in close quarters had it taken away by Espinosa. Christian Espinosa for Sonora. What an interesting match. Closing out week 6 of the MASL. Closing out the Sockers 2019 participation. We're on to 2020 after this. 4-4 score. Pardo, Leo reached out, kept it in. Leo in the corner. Farber in front! Deflected. Farber looking for his 6th goal in 6 games. Great crowd in the deep end. The kids have joined. The soccer club has joined. We've got San Diego Soccer Club out there. Here's the Leo back heel. It's 2v1. It's Cerda. Great play, Aragon from behind. Oh! Now, Cerda. Leo down. Card out against Sonora. Sockers on the power play.
Rosales with a dangerous tackle, and he ends up getting the wind knocked out himself, and Leo slow to get up.
Leo's still down.
Scary moment here, and it's that follow through, and you see that right leg go up, and you just hope that it gave in time there. It's something in the outdoor game where you'll see player's foot stay planted right there, and you just hope that it can get up soon enough as that lunge comes in. It's the exact same principle here. Of course, indoor players have the luxury of not wearing studs and thus being more likely to get that foot up, but hopefully, speaking from a hopeful mindset, hopefully Leo was able to get that foot up in time, and you're going to get another look at it here. You see what I mean right there? It's that right leg going back down to the ground and kind of hovering in midair, and thankfully it wasn't too low. If that right leg of Leo is, 2-3 inches lower, you could be talking about something very bad there, and thankfully it's just the blue card to Rosales. Rosales didn't seriously injure anyone, and Leo's fine to go, but that was a scary moment. And now, talk about hopeful, talk about having optimism here. The Sockers are on the power play, a big power play, a big chance to change the momentum in this game.
This Sockers power play will count down either to 9:40 left in the game or to a Sockers 5th goal, a potential go-ahead goal. I say potential because San Diego has conceded shorthanded tonight. They're -2 on special teams. They've allowed a power play and a shorthanded goal. If they can get to -1 in that critical category, they'll have a lead. It's Pee Wee. The corner, Leo. Leo's shot driven out by Miller with the left foot. Pardo lurking and watching. Boris went to the bench and saw 3 goals scored behind his pupil, Diego Arriaga.
Well, they haven't scored since he's come back in.
Slav Escoto had some space for a moment. Brandon, tiptoe pass out to Uba Parapovic. He'll line one up. It was blocked away. Several heels were sticking out there. Pee-wee's under pressure. Pee-wee, look out. Foul called on the wall, denying Cañas a chance to traipse on in. Interesting,
to say the least.
Minute 26 left in the power play. Escoto. Back to Slav. Taylor Bond getting some power play time. Leo stepping in. Leo. Great play down on the ground by Murillo. Bond digs it out to Escoto halfway through the power play. Off the wall and past Bond's reach.
It's the bounce so unkind there.
Good idea. Bond hasn't seen power play time since Hector was a pup. Slav lifts it in the air, but too slowly. Leo digs it out of the crowd. Not easy to do. 38 seconds left in the man advantage. Sockers trying to take a 5-4 lead. They're tied 4-4. Leo creeping in. Final minute against a tired squad. Could this be where it comes together? It's Escoto at the edge of the crease. Ball pinballed out and was punted out by Miller, who's down and out for the moment and asking for the whistle. And Miller favoring his right leg. If he's okay, this was extremely tactical. But
exactly what Leonardo de Oliveira mouthing over to Irving Murillo.
Nice little rest for the penalty killers here, as Miller looks like he is fine. Well, that was extremely tactical. And seeing as it was whistled the way it was, it worked out tremendously for Solis. Like taking an extra timeout and breaking to the last 20 seconds of this man advantage. Boris Pardo's 2/3 of the way up the floor right now.
Fourth quarter.
And he's going to jog back into position. Remember, Solis has scored once shorthanded. 11 seconds left in the power play. Escoto has Bond on the back post for a moment. Couldn't get the ball there. Slav will line it up. 5 seconds. 4 seconds. It's Pee-wee. 3 seconds. It's Slav. The shot. He scores! With 1 second on the man advantage. Sockers had the lead. Who did it? Slaviša Uber-Peripovic.
Well, you wondered if they'd be able to work one more chance, and work one more chance they do. And who's there to take that chance? You know the name, some. Slaviša Uber-Peripovic. Bosnian strikes with the left foot again for San Diego. His 8th on the year. The Sockers have their first lead since 2-1.
3 in a row for San Diego. And Slav has 2 of them. His 7th and 8th of the year to lead the club. Here's a chance. It's Tovar. Brings it down. Shoots. Score! The pride of Monterrey! Eric Tovar! Goal! Sockers lead 6-4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. The Sox are on a roll.
Tovar on a gorgeous feed from Raimundo Contreras. Contreras with an assist and a half right here. Look at the vision, head up all the way, right to the foot, and a great first touch from Tovar to set him up for the easy finish. And that's gotta feel good for a fan favorite, for a man known so well by so many people in this arena, a beloved character who's done so much for this Sockers brand over the years, and getting him back and healthy and back on the score sheet, that is just flat out awesome.
2 goals in 13 seconds for the San Diego Sockers to reestablish their biggest lead of the night. It was not Slaviša Uber-Peripovic, it was Eric Tovar. I don't know how.
They're still giving Slaviša's goal from prior. It was 2 and 13, Craig. That's how.
That's why. Got it. Now they'll do Tovar, because I want to hear Tovar. Here's Aguirre. Floodgates opening, perhaps. Escoto. Aguirre. Now we go to Tovar. You were right. They got interrupted.
Got a lot to get to.
Can't give up focus now. And Contreras from behind, chested into Pardo's mitts by Aguirre.
That's fantastic. Hearing the name Tovar chanted around this grand old arena. The way it used to get chanted and cheered and said by the public address announcer quite a bit back a few years ago.
Bond working on Acuna. Out of the double team is going to chip it back toward the Sockers bench and maintain possession, which was the optimal outcome of that run as it turned out. Working to the final 8 minutes now. Can the Sockers open this match up? They've scored 4 in a row after conceding 4 in a row. Leo looking for the impossible goal, which would have been a hat trick. Timeout. 7:56 to play, fourth quarter. We break courtesy of Calafino. 6-4, Sockers lead.
Califino Tequila. Treat yourself to the finer things in life.
4 straight for the San Diego Sockers. They've got a 6-4 lead.
And you can save big on a great evening out for a group of 20 or more. Experience the electric atmosphere of a Sockers game day in a whole new way. Create lifelong memories by attending a home match with your family, friends, company, coworkers, or sports team. Take advantage of our great deals on birthday parties, fundraisers, and business to business. You put together the group, and we'll take care of the rest. Find out more at sockers.com and visit our tickets rep on the concourse here inside Pechanga Arena, San Diego. The Sockers with a 6-4 lead, 4 straight goals for the men in those black Darth Vader themed Star Wars unis here on Star Wars Night. And here's Craig Elston.
The Empire is striking back. Soon the rebel scum will be eliminated forever.
Soon.
This ball off the outside of Zé Roberto's foot. Zay, slightly younger than Yoda. Younger than baby Yoda, as a matter of fact, too. Who was a 50-year-old baby.
I was going to say, what's the conversion rate there?
A little Mandalorian lore for you. Mandalore, Ian. Here's Rosales and Aragon.
You got quite a few head shakes at that last pun. I just want to let you know.
Sorry. Chipped, but I just like to apologize worldwide for that pun.
You got TV X-nade there.
This was... I wasn't having it either, even though I said it.
Not having it.
Roberto called for the foul on Leyva, a little bit of a wrestling match down low. Well, we regain our jocularity with a 4-goal run, Nate, as before the Sockers were in an extremely awkward circumstance.
Yes.
And I'd just like to note for the record that the Sockers head coach is 161-31 lifetime in the regular season in the MASL and PASL. 130 games over 500 in 11 years is an insane number for Phil Salvaggio. That might be the second or third time in 11 years I've critiqued directly a decision he made on the air. And the Sockers are overcoming it so far. Miller down to the wall. This is dangerous. This is a goal. It's a 1-goal affair just like that. Off the set piece. Sockers missed the lateral runner in the middle of the crease for an easy put in. 6-5 the score now.
Almost a shoulder finish in the end of it. Sneaking in there and netting another one. It was Alejandro Leyva. And Leyva's got a brace. And Sonora are right back within a goal. Just not keeping track of that runner. We're at the far post. It was Aguirre losing him. Soles, look at this. Talk about not going away.
Long run. Ball pinballs away from Tovar. Leyva's got 2. Aragon is stepping in. He's shooting off the wall.
That was a great ball cross field. My goodness.
Miller picks up the assist for Sonora on the goal at 7:56. A huge answer for the visitors from Hermosillo. Right back into the cauldron now. Pee-wee battles out of his own zone. A 4th touch. Tried to spring Escoto. Great idea, but well defended by Solis. Man back there was Rosales. Here's Rosales now. And as Aragon works it back, we've got a soccer being tended to on the bench, and we believe that's Pee-wee Ortega.
That is. And with 6 minutes remaining in that
shot of Pee Wee going to the bench there. This has the feel of just a classic next goal's going to be huge kind of moment here.
And now it's a chance. It's Cañas. Cañas working on Contreras. And the former Soles draws the foul in the nick of time.
I just can't help but think that we're going to see a replay here and see Contreras always going to ground there. The trip does the job in the end, but I don't know if Soles have more than a couple of more goals left in them. I really feel like 7 is kind of the maximum output tonight for Soles de Sonora. They won with 8 last night. Can't see them getting above 7. Another goal for San Diego right here. Not saying it's curtains, but my goodness, it couldn't get much bigger in a game like this one than to get that 7th goal right now.
Do you want to remind the fans that number 9, Enrique Cañas, who's the top scorer, so he's going to be out there a lot, is sitting on 3 fouls.
Yes.
If he picks up a 4th foul, the Sockers will get a power play that
would kill off a huge 2 minutes. Exactly.
Right. It would be consequential. Contreras will now be playing in 2s the rest of the match if Pee Wee is out. Cerda with 2 dimes tonight. Cesar Cerda has Tovar in the middle. Found him a step late. Tovar turns to shoot. That shot was going to be blocked all the way. Back to Contreras. A nervous finish once again at Pechanga Arena, San Diego, quite possibly for this crowd of over 2,900 on Star Wars night. This one's loose. It's Contreras! And saved off the line. Tovar then whistles one wide as we reach the final 5 minutes, presented by Calafino Tequila. Enjoy the Fino things in life. Off the wall. Pino got turned. Here comes the counterattack. And the foul call. Quick restart. Rosales has Cañas. Cañas scores! Hat trick. Tie game. Cañas does it.
And it's a quick free kick that undoes San Diego. Pino thought he'd committed the tactical foul, and everyone took a breath and thought, let's get ourselves together here, maybe get a couple of new players on the field. Soles take it quickly, and that final ball across the face from Rosales is just inch perfect. That takes 3 Sockers players out of the play right there, and it's the easiest goal of the night to complete the hat trick for Enrique Cañas. And I said next goal was going to be huge. How about this? It's a tie game. A 6-pack for each side. 4:46 left. How about you now, Sockers? Time to wake up. Time to net a winner. Let's see what's going to happen here, Craig.
Say Roberto trying to run it down, but Rubalcava's got it. And the team that should be tired has scored the last 2 goals. And I'm so impressed with Soles de Sonora. And I'll tell you what, it's a theme I actually wanted to build earlier in the match, Nate, but we talked about Efrain Huilo Martinez, who we haven't seen a lot in the second half. I feel like Huilo has been sitting out too. But one very hidden or kind of undercurrent story in the MASL are players who had agreed to contracts but could not get P1 visas, Mexican nationals that cannot get P1 visas approved by the United States. And those players are starting to turn to play in Hermosillo. Leo shot as he turned. Rubalcava knocked it down with a critical save. Just like last Sunday. Heading into the final minutes, tied 6-6. Identical scoreline. Farber after the missed tackle. Farber's coming in. Farber harassed. Played to the back post. And it's in! Oh, a terrible own goal by Sonora. Farber's got his career-long goal streak, and he can only shake his head in wonderment as the Sockers lead 7-6 on un regalo grande from Hermosillo.
Avendaño. And the worst part about this is that you actually kind of exhaled from a Sonora point of view. Watch this in the super slow-mo here. It's going to go off his foot, then off the boards, and then back off the right foot and into the net. That is as agonizing as it gets. Auto goal, cruelty. The Sockers have the lead back. And if this Soles team fights back again and gets the tie, I mean, I'm almost expecting them to win.
That was...
To fight back that hard and then give the lead back on something like that. And from a player who hasn't seen all too much time on the field tonight, Avendaño.
Well done by Cerda under pressure to get the ball to Aguirre on the wall.
I'm curious to see what Soles are going to come with right now. This is a big test of professionalism right now. For everything they expended last night to win that game in Ontario, to fight all the way back to 6-6.
Great footwork by Pardo.
Brilliant.
This one's going to stay in play off the Rubio sign. Escoto from Contreras behind the whistling Cerda. And we've got a whistle and a foul on Solis. They are
dicey.
furious.
That is a dicey call there against Leyva. It's an obstruction call on Leyva. And you feel for Solis right now, and you can't help but feel for Jesus Alberto Avendaño. The looks on his teammates' faces said it all. We'll see if they can pick him up right now, or if the Sockers can do what they need to do right now. You talk about professionalism. It was lacking professionalism, that pass back there from Escoto, but professional output right now. You can't feel sorry for anybody. This is where you got to put the foot on the throat and go get an 8-6.
It's a foul on Rosales along the wall, and Solis are getting grabby, which a team that is tired is expected to do. Start to use the hands more than they should. But this game is completely in doubt still. And so much credit should be given to Solis.
Absolutely.
I think this is a team, Nate, just to finish kind of my thought, that's going to just get better and better as the year goes on. And I don't think that they should be in any way discounted as being a playoff team.
I thought your thought was going to get better and better and better.
Well,
and it did. It really did.
Even if they take the loss here tonight. Out of the air, headed back to the middle, rebound, dribbles to Rubalcava. Good idea by Pino, but he just couldn't find it to Gutierrez.
You thinking sixth attacker here, Craig?
Right now.
It's got to be.
With 2:32 left in the match and Solis calling timeout, they do so in all likelihood to enable a sixth attacker to come on and to pressure the final 152 seconds of this entertaining Sunday night match.
This is just fun. I mean, every game that the Sockers have played here in this grand old arena, and for your viewing pleasure here on MASL TV, it's been Sunday night lights. It's been entertainment, and no different tonight. Now, that might not be music to the ears, or I'll just say it is not music to the ears of the Sockers coaching staff and the leadership among the playing ranks, but as far as fans of the Major Arena Soccer League and even Sockers fans just looking for a good time, these close games, these nail biters, it's what it's been all about. And fourth quarter heroics have been a theme for San Diego. Tonight, you gotta say, it hasn't exactly been fourth quarter heroics. They surrendered a 6-4 lead. They blew a 2-goal lead at home in the fourth quarter, only to be granted un regalito, if there's ever been one, from Jesus Alberto Avendaño, that agonizing own goal just moments ago. But again, this is where winning teams, championship caliber teams, show no mercy. This is where the final score should be 8-6, 9-6. And this thing strong, but now with the sixth attacker, you start looking up at that 7-6 going, no, we'd take that too. Solis are going to give it everything they've got in the tank right now, and there can't be much in there. There can't be much gasoline left in the tank right now after this 2-game, 2-night SoCal barrage of action for Soles de Sonora. They've poured it all out these last couple of nights, and we'll see what they've got left here with 2:32 on the clock, Craig.
It's Gustavo Rosales as the sixth attacker. He will not wear gloves. He can handle the ball with his hands if he's in the penalty area. He's the sixth attacker, under 2.5 minutes to play. And the Solis de Sonora chasing one goal. Enrique Cañez cannot afford to give up a foul. Pardo will scoop this one up.
And he's got Farber creeping out just like last week.
Farber chipping. Farber scoring!
Called it.
Pardo assisting for the second straight week. Brian Farber! Sox are going to win this one tonight, baby. I do believe. Thanks to Farbeezy. He makes it look so easy.
Well, it was Boris Pardo who joked on Instagram last week when Brian Farber posted a video of last week's Pardo to Farber goal. It was Boris Pardo saying, Brady to Edelman. And that one, call it whatever you want. Montana to Rice, Brady to Edelman. Beautiful stuff.
Straight over the top.
Rivers to Wes Welker.
The fly route from
Old
Brian
school San
Farber.
Diego Chargers there.
Hey. Oh,
Wow.
man.
What a wacky game.
Oh, man. Farbeezy does it again. And for the exact same scoreline as well.
Yeah.
That's odd. It's pretty cool.
Well, our pregame highlight player, Brian Farber, the late game hero. And he feels good that he's not going to only have to talk about the ball bouncing off Avendaño's leg twice, but can instead say, how about my sweet one-time shot from the offensive third? Here's Wheelo back out there. Martinez working on Pee Wee, who's back out there. That's big news for San Diego.
Good news. Very good news.
Miller shoots! He got the joint of post and crossbar with that ripping try.
Still whistling. Cloud of smoke down there right now.
Under 90 seconds, blocked by Pee Wee. Pee Wee is feeling it. I'm not sure how much Pee Wee's got, but he's giving all of what he has. That leg looks not right to me.
Yeah, he looks like he's out there on 1.5.
Yeah, he's not well. And that could be an issue for next week.
Why he's out there right now, to be quite honest.
Honestly, I have no idea. He's massively hampered. This ball's out of play.
He's going to limp back.
Yeah, he's out.
I think that was maybe a
try and see
type situation.
Yeah.
Don't give it everything and immediately back talking to Savage on the bench.
Yep.
And that was exactly what that was.
So this is a game that has seen Craig Childs out with injury. Bad touch. Look out. Pino rescues it as Aragon and Cañez were ready to come in. Pino bursting through. Knockdown. Play on. Rosales on the rush. Here comes the sixth attacker.
Lovely.
Cañez. They're spread out. Cañez looking to shoot or pass across, partially tipped. Here's the shot. And the goal as Miller shows the pace of a golazo. 1 goal match. Nate Kreskin-Abarea said 7 goals would be scored by Soles. 7th goal is in.
A lot of lasers in Star Wars. And we just saw a laser beam right there.
Wow.
On Star Wars night in San Diego. A truly magnificent 7th for the lads from Hermosillo, scored by Adrian Miller. My goodness. A slight deflection could do nothing to stop the pace of that one, and now we got a ball game here with the final 35 seconds.
Leo. Cañez got the assist. Blue cards out.
There goes our ball game.
Leo takes another hard hit. The Sockers have paid a mighty physical price in this match tonight. Wheelo. Pardon me, not Wheelo. Miller. Oh, jeez.
That's dangerous.
That's a very bad
Right
foul.
as we're heralding Miller for that tremendous goal just seconds prior, it's an unnecessary foul that you must also say it damages his team's efforts there. His team had every opportunity to fight and try to get an equalizer. Miraculous 8th goal, but I don't think it's going to happen now. And Leo's okay. The Sockers are just going to try to see this thing out.
Again, losing Childs 1 shift into the match. Pee Wee's taken a hamstring that looks to have him slowed, potentially going forward. Sockers already without Iran Pollo Ruiz. A lot of serious firepower missing. 20 seconds left in this game, and the Sockers with the man advantage. And Rubalcava's back in, essentially conceding the match, so to speak. 10 seconds left. And the Sockers are 3 passes away from draining the clock. Pardo. This one's in the air. There's 3 seconds, and Escoto's going to dribble it out for San Diego. And now pushing and shoving after Escoto took a hard foul with 0.2 seconds left. And this one is not going to end well.
And Tovar is going to be in some trouble. Tovar was the first one to come off the bench and really light the fireworks on this thing. And now Cesar Cerda and Gustavo Rosales were holding each other's necks. Now a couple of Sockers players getting involved here. And as all of this is going on, as it seemed like the game was good and over and handshakes and abrazos were ready to be shared, this thing got ugly in a flash. Fingers are being pointed. And all the while, Brandon Escoto's still down on the deck, and he took a shot head to boards there.
Guys, can we see the foul on Escoto again, if you can find it? Understanding that the Sturmendrang continues. Let's take a look. This is with time running out.
It's a two-handed shove from Aragon, and then the shoulder.
Head to the board.
Watch the shove here. It's two things. It's the shove from Aragon, and then the shoulder from the other Sonora player knocks Escoto in. That's bad.
That's a red card.
That's bad. It's Acuna and Aragon with
That's a suspendable play.
Two-man attack on Brandon Escoto. Boris Pardo trying to pump up the crowd and keep the attitude positive and truly atmospheric in all the right ways. But this thing got ugly in a hurry, and Brandon Escoto is now risen up the head and neck. He's still sitting on his backside. But man, oh man. As soon as I saw a Sockers player come off the bench, I knew trouble was about to be in store.
And I don't know what happened to Cesar Cerda's jersey. It might have gotten torn. He's wearing a Turlock player's name and number down there in Juan Gonzalez.
Yeah.
That's not really of consequence. Escoto is up, but still favoring the forehead.
And everybody shaking hands, and
yeah, this game's over. They should just call it. Even our GM, Sean Bowers, is out on the floor. There you see him with the blue steel stare. And this game is over. Final score, 8-7. The Sockers defeat Soles de Sonora. Escoto holding his shoulder. And a very disappointing finish, it must be said.
Yeah.
To what was an entirely spirited affair for 59 minutes and 59 seconds. And the last second saw a very dangerous and reckless tackle that led to what could be the fifth Sockers injury of the day. Again, starting without Pollo, losing Childs early, losing Pee Wee, make it the fourth, pardon me, and then Escoto taking one to the head and shoulder, shoved into the boards to end the match. Never mind that Leo got smashed about 4 times and had to get pulled off the carpet. So this is the second of 3 meetings between the Sockers and Soles, and the last here in San Diego. These two clubs will meet down in Hermosillo.
That should be a tasty affair.
Tell you what, that's going to be a heck of a game.
Tasty.
And it'll be the Sockers on the back end of a back-to-back as they'll play Monterey. Brian Farber standing by downstairs with Melissa May.
So Farber, your jerseys look awesome. How was your experience for the first ever Star Wars night here at Pechanga Arena?
It was amazing. When you come out of the tunnel and you see all the guys in their gear, I mean, if you're not a Star Wars fan, I don't know when you grew up or where you grew up. It's just because it's such an amazing series. But it's super fun to wear these jerseys. When I saw them the other day, I was excited to wear it. And luckily, the Force was with me on that second to last goal.
So you had scored in your 6th straight game, 2 goals for you, 2 goals for Leo, 2 goals for Slav. What do you attribute the Sockers' offensive success to?
Well, it's a lot of practice getting to know each other. You know, Leo and I have a good connection. Him finding me, Pino and the guys out of the back, Serta, Pee Wee breaking forward and connecting passes. I think Contreras found Tobar over the top. It's a connection that we have, and it's not it's not all resting on one guy. Unfortunately, for us, Craig is injured, and he's vital to this team. But luckily, we're able to pick up the slack.
So getting that assist from Boris, I saw kind of lob over your head and you looked like you were setting it up. How much fun is it to get a shot like that on an open net?
We talked about it tonight. We literally said, Boris said, I'm going to send you. Keep running. Go long. I'm going to send you. And I found a little gap and I pointed. I was hoping he saw it. I looked over my shoulder and there was a perfect ball. It was like Tom Brady to Randy Moss that was putting this one away.
Putting a Patriots reference into it. Well, thank you so much, Brian. I hope you have a wonderful new year.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Melissa May with Brian Farber as Farber extends his now career-long MASL goals streak to 6 consecutive matches, scoring twice in the final 4 minutes. In the Calafino final 5 minutes, there are the Calafino Farber 5 minutes. for San Diego as they pull this one out of the fire, 8-7, man.
And sometimes we hate to say, I told you so. No, I love to tell you, I told you so. I'm watching it like it's happening in slow motion, and you talk about deja vu, the exact same scoreline as the situation last week where Brian Farber is sneaking out with the ball in Boris Pardo's hands, and he lobs it up and over the top, and he knocks it home into an empty net for the 8th goal. Of course, last week the final score ended up being 8-6. This time, that goal was oh so needed, as the final score ends up being 8-7. So the winning goal ends up being an empty netter from Boris Pardo to Brian Farber.
And
brilliant
it
stuff.
ends up being our Calafino Tequila top shot of the night.
Oh, look at this. Here it is. I'm calling it. I'm seeing him streak up the field. I'm going, deja vu, deja vu. I don't think the throw has enough, but it gets just enough, and that is not easy. Look, everyone's going to point to the empty net, the point that he just had to make contact. Anyone who's ever played this game, and this is one of those situations you're going to see right here. I don't care if it's on a throw or a lofted ball over the top from a center back on a big outdoor pitch. To take a ball over the top like that and hit it first time, I don't care that the net's empty. That is such a high difficulty level chance, and Brian Farber made it look darn easy.
Well, for a moment, it looked like the plucky rebellion was going to pull one out. Everywhere the Empire goes, the system gets better.
But I like that Farber referenced the Force being with them tonight, and it certainly was, because whether it was the Force or the soccer gods or just the kindness of the grand old arena, the Sockers needed every last little bit of it in the end, and not to be too harsh on the lads, but they tried to give it away a few times. They tried to give this game away a few times, but the veteran leadership, the likes of Pardo, the likes of Farber, the likes of Eric Tovar coming up clutch for San Diego here on Soccer's Night, making way for a new year and retro night, lining up the W's. Good stuff here in San Diego tonight. Sundays are for football, and the Sockers are awesome.
And as our Star Wars characters and our Sockers celebrate down on the floor, we bid you a fond farewell from San Diego. Another exciting weekend of MASL action concludes with another Sunday night thriller from America's finest city. The Sockers scoring 5 in the 4th quarter to pull out an 8-7 win over Soles de Sonora. We say thanks to our tremendous TVX Sports video crew, led by executive producer Ted Bendrick, producers Randall the Slizzer Sliz and Daniel Farias stepping in today, and our director Andrew Leadham. For Melissa May down on the floor, for Nate Abarea by my side, my name's Craig Elston, saying thanks so much for spending part of your Sunday night with us as the Sockers win their 6th in a row in extraordinarily difficult fashion by an 8-7 final scoreline full time. And now, so long from San Diego.